And if nothing happens, get my crossbow ready.
Olivia pointed out that entire thing was moot because Jonathan didn't turn on the speaker again. So all the introductions just went by the by.
Okay,
So
well,
just the quick version, character name, class, and race. Just
I
the
thought
fast version.
Curtin was just so charismatic that you could even tell what he was saying without sound.
Yes.
Teyun Ahmed, half high elf, drunken master monk.
Curtin with an E, Treloran elf rogue.
Tiara Sunfire, Divine Soul Sorcerer Cleric.
Lucius Kane, human ranger monster hunter.
All right. So our story so far, we were still in Silk or its environs.
Yeah.
We had you had some congress with the
Primus.
Eldrin, with the Primus sending scouts to follow up on your first encounter with the other. So that report will be coming in today. You also had some conversation with Jubilethans, but we hadn't gone any further than that. And I'm going to be intentionally stalling and dragging that part out until the deal on the first part of the year we were talking about, which I haven't made a formal announcement, so this is the closest to a formal announcement we'll have for now, and that is that after the first of the year, there will be a Nycos beginning of the year party. I will be inviting everybody who's ever played in Nycos to come and interact and play if they want. But more importantly, you'll be able to meet characters that have been that are in the story all over the place. So you get kind of a cross-pollination, and also some revelations about new stuff coming in 2020. So.
I got more.
I have.
What else is going on? You guys had conversed with you kind of
We had a
cajoled.
reverse.
You kind of cajoled the Red Veil Legion to your own purposes indirectly, right? You put enough pressure on two of his lieutenants to keep Burl from messing stuff up.
We did a reverse interrogation.
Yes, giving more information to the other than they were getting from you.
Well, he was getting a foot monitor of him.
I don't think it was
I think you did. On the other hand, I say on the other hand, I think you may have gotten a little bit more TMI than you wanted. So it was a trade.
we found out about those
Numbers.
We had the numbers. We had the rocks, which I'm looking for.
Gravelings.
Yeah, you discovered the Gravelings.
The Gravelings. We found out about their numbers, which was nice. We did find out how many of the others are military and how many they actually have on planet.
How many of the other military there are?
Yeah, so that was
10%,
actually
30,000 at least.
that was actually
Around
helpful.
The others go armed.
We still have no idea what they mean by extracting vex or corruption from. That's what they're here to do. But we have no.
Well, you're confused about the corruption because they claim that they're trying to uncorrupt
living
Second
things,
Genesis, and the things that they are succeeding to do is actually more corrupt than the version they were trying to cure.
We have these stuff going on with our buddy. Why am I forgetting his name?
Galen?
Galen. We have stuff going on there. The Soprazzo, the sea demons, which which stole a bunch of stuff. We found that ship, or I found that ship. Am I still unconscious, or is the time?
No, that was
passed now?
it's
You're good.
it's all I kind of stole from Adventure League the concept that at the beginning of the session, unless there's an overwhelming reason to not do so, you always are starting at the end of a long rest.
Okay.
So at least one full night has passed since whatever has happened before. The only time that won't happen is if you're in the middle of a fight.
Starting combat or story reasons, such as leaving off an interrogation.
Right.
Or some story reason.
Okay.
Right.
Are there any Eldrin in the town?
And then Manny.
Oh, there's several Eldrin. Remember, he's Treloran, so there are Eldrin town. Are you talking about Primus?
Copperlocks.
Primus.
Yeah, the Primus is still. The Primus is not left. What's the name of their kite?
Malcina. the
No,
one-
Mousalul is the leader, but what's the name of the kite? I know I gave it to you.
The kite that we were.
The kite that's currently hovering.
Let's go fly.
So that group that we borrowed the.
Star Dancer.
Okay, so the Star Dancer is above you?
Star Dancer.
So so that's the group that let us borrow the interrogation plant, right?
Right.
That's the giant
No, wait.
seed ship.
No,
Person that Star
that's a
Dancer
person.
was the
Yeah.
person with first contact.
Yes. That is not the name of the
No,
ship.
let me take a look.
It's earlier.
The seed. Wasn't it called the seed or something?
No.
I
It
don't
looked
know.
like a seed.
It
It
looks
looks
like
yeah.
it.
Let me find my giant seed.
You a really fancy notebook here?
Nope.
I
What?
have something weird here. Namon. Aro.
Well, the one you're looking for will give you a hint. So the one that's on the
I don't have it.
palimpsest.
I'm just gonna call it the SUS.
Oh,
the-
that one.
The ship of
Oh, and
a.
if
The
you
missing one.
The missing one is you got that name.
Yeah, that's the
Windswept, I think.
windswept.
Windswift.
But the
But
one
the current one, no, I don't have it.
We were very concerned with the name of the SUS, the ship of unusual size.
I don't think they exist.
Right as one comes down.
The Windswept was the name of which ship? The one that
Windswift is the one that's on the manifest.
okay.
The one that it listed that it had the 7 fellstones. Was it 6 or 7 fellstones? 7.
Too many.
Oh, wait, here's another whole page.
2 pages are stuck together. Perhaps there are secrets on them.
Are we planning to head east
Well,
to outward sea?
what's that?
I'm asking.
Yeah,
In
because you guys were considering going hunting, right? Pursuing the first and obvious thing to do is to pursue the submarine.
Yeah.
Try to figure out where it's going or where it came from.
At this point, do we want to just go to Galen and just like, rather than hide everything that we know, knowing that he's had direct contacts with these folks, knowing if he knows any point of origin?
No, we could keep him out of it.
I'm not trying to keep him in it. I'm just like, I think we're at the point with him where we just have to like, if his empire's like crumbling around him, I'm worried that he turns into more of, even though we know the type of evil he is, like he's gonna reach. Like we're expecting him to betray us or do something in the long run, but simultaneously, I don't think that counteracts like, we don't have to share everything that we know, and I know that having that.
But he does have a boss.
I know, but I'm just.
Galen has a boss? Somebody else is pulling the strings? Is that your suggestion?
Not exactly. My thing is that we don't have to do. He can't get too out of control.
Yeah.
You just have to.
But I'm saying maybe if we go with him, just knowing that we saw that we have a evidence of this machine that went underwater to steal his stuff.
Okay.
See if he knows
I know what you're going for. Yeah.
like more.
If he knows more about it.
If he knows more about it, but not giving him that we know that he's in direct cahoots with this group, like he's negotiated with them in the past and something went
Unfortunately,
awry.
I don't think I wrote it down. I'm gonna have to do is make a spreadsheet on these, so I have a reference, both alphabetical and situational, locational. But unfortunately, I didn't write it down.
All right. I know that I gave it, so I have to go back through my notes and figure out which one it was.
Okay, this is December what? 22nd.
Yes, today.
Yesterday was
The year
winter solstice.
126.
126, about to be 127.
Okay.
So
Let's see.
I-
So Mousel'll will basically send a runner to let you know that his scouts are back.
Okay, I'll gather the group and say, let's Malsolo has his scouts come back, let's go find out. And then I have something to ask him when I get there, so we might as well kill, no, he would just kill. We might as well get all the information that he has and,
Yeah, it's funny you can't use colloquialisms because you don't know any, right?
I don't know.
Kill two birds with one stone. Why would I even say that?
Yeah, I wouldn't kill something, you know, the birds she knows are the birds in heaven and therefore.
There are birds here too.
Now.
Now.
I don't know that there wasn't until recently.
I know.
She would have called it a sad world without birds and free running horses.
Yeah. By the way, that is something that is it is a reality for you guys. Well, except for you because you recently came back into the world with help from the Arlen. But there's just you remember a time when there weren't birds. Because that's a weird thing to
Lucius,
remember.
yeah, there was no birds.
And then all of a sudden they were here, and you remembered them being here. So it's like, you know the world has changed. Something really
Something
critically different about the world now. You also remember the candle exploding, a brilliant explosion of light, and then you also remember the chrysanthemum of departure. So you remember both histories there as well. So there are cracks and quakes in the fabric of
like echoes.
space-time. Yeah.
No, in your mind.
Yeah, in my mind. Yeah.
Regarding time, how can the two things be synonymous?
would your dad know anything about the ship if we don't want to go to Galen?
Well, the advantage is that
flying
go.
The submarine.
Well,
The submersible?
Yeah.
yeah. So going to talk to his dad or even the crew of the saddle might give you additional information because you have really not gathered any information from the locals about the sea demons other than the fact that some people say they exist and others say they don't.
So since you had some hesitations with going to Galen, should we just go to his dad? Friendlier company?
Then we'll go see Masilo.
Okay.
Malsilo?
Malsilil. Yes.
Okay, Malsilo.
So we'll get that over relatively quickly. Basically, what you find out is that yes, they did encounter the specific craft you were talking about as it was departing. They've pursued it almost 20 miles north, which they found kind of well. They kind of expected that because that would be back towards the capital. But the site they saw at the 15-mile mark was, again, terrifying. A half-mile circle of devastation around a town, indicating that the
Town had been leveled.
similar weapon that was used on the capital was used again at reduced strength. Whatever it was about half the power of the first one. But it did still wipe out the majority of the population, caused a considerable amount of damage, and that in that town, in the periphery of that town, there was active defense being set up against the incursion, and the incursion force actually consisted of a larger vessel than the little globe that you guys ran into,
Yeah.
and that it had apparently taken a static position. Literally on top of
Geosynchronous.
one of the literally physically on top of one of the local religious edifices, literally over the top of an old temple. And the most stirring and striking thing is that the device, the craft, seemed to be generating a cyclone, because directly above it there was a tornado that seemed to be constant.
Okay. She knows nothing about time storms either.
Right. Nobody does.
Nobody does.
Ah, the advantage of being ignorant
New group.
and being a new group.
That'd be new group. Okay, Mouseville is my target, and I just told the others that that's where she's going because.
Right. That's I just gave you. That was Mouse
Oh.
Lil's report.
Then my question to him is, what is Vex?
What is Vex?
That's what the others called it, Vex.
In what context?
They are mining Vex.
Who told you that?
They did. They're the prisoner we have said. They're looking
What?
for.
By the way, did you get his name?
Yes. Willem. I think it was Willem. Willem something or other.
No, it was just Phil.
No, I think it's just Phil.
It was, yeah, it's just,
Willem.
It
Willem
was a
is the-
simple name.
It was Phil. We all laughed about it. But he had a number, but I didn't write down the number.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
I
I did.
didn't write down the number 42242 something like.
Yeah.
It was like almost a repetitive number. I had Willem.
No, Willem is the.
No.
You're thinking of the
The left.
Willem Sooth is the Wilric Sooth.
Woolrich, but I thought the other guy was Will.
Wilric Sooth is the leader of the
I already got that.
Jubileethans. No, I know. I'm clarifying
Yeah.
that Willem is not the name of this guy's name's Phil. I just want to make sure that you had the right name. You didn't pursue it any further, as far as like you wouldn't
No.
know to ask for surname or anything like that. So.
No. He does. He's. Okay. Okay.
So, anything else you wanted to ask him? You were going to.
Well, so she's waiting for the answer of what is that.
Oh, well, okay. So as far as mining, the only thing that that doesn't give any context because they've
Okay.
not experienced anything about a mining operation per se. It also seems odd that they would come from wherever they came from by a ship that passes through the sky in order to dig into the ground. That seems odd.
Well, apparently, they use it for things. It's a very.
You don't have a context.
Yeah.
You really don't.
No.
You're reaching based on what Miri knows. I'm
Yeah.
afraid.
Okay. Sorry.
Yeah, you're wanting to advance the plot line, but
No. Because you did say something about mining it, and they need it, or wanted it, which was my.
well, what did you find out about the atrocity they performed on the sec gen?
They used some
What was the purpose, though?
oh, that's it. They wanted to bring it back to what it was before it was changed, saying that was not its original form,
Okay.
and they want to take away what was not right and return it to what it was originally.
Oh, so they're restorationists. Isn't that nice? That's sarcasm. That was sarcasm.
That's what Masillo said.
Yes. I just wanted to give you the report. You can do with it what you will. I would recommend that we try to go and find out more about that specific content on or specific action that was taken. The town in particular that was struck was known as Sylvan Grove due to its proximity in the higher altitudes farther north from Banbury. At least I think Lucius has been to Banbury. You guys made that one trek up. The candle trip. So
Sweet.
now you're going to go to talk to.
What would be your father would be better than if we wanted to keep Galen out of it, right? Because we would need a
Well-
ship. We would need a ship either way, and he's the only one that has access.
Well, that's true.
Now, the ship is 15 miles north. Is it near the coast or is it near the road to the
I'm
capital?
sorry. The town,
The town.
Sylvan Grove, it's farther north. It's directly north of here, which means
Okay.
it's nowhere near the ocean.
Okay.
It's inland. It's on the way. It's literally on the way to the capital.
Well, unless we have a way to go underneath the ocean and to follow that ship, I don't see what we can do.
Well, the concept is if it goes down, it must come back up. That's the thought process.
They can't reset. They can't. There was nothing from when I pursued the ship that said that they could just stay under forever.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and the crew did breathe air, so or seemed to breathe
you
air.
know about these underwater ships?
So, I mean, I chased one.
He chased one just for a few feet.
Okay.
He actually
Well,
banged on the
you
outside of it.
You know
I wanna-
that they must come up.
Well, the Hobbit, the halfling that
The
I
halfling.
chased, dove in and went into the ship. And when I cracked the crease on the seal, air came out. So there was, if everything was sealing air in,
More than likely, they've got to come back for more air.
yeah, they have to go for air.
Okay.
Because
Perhaps
the,
your father has seen these things coming up.
Well, that's the whole thing, is that you could go to the down to the docks and not necessarily even go to any named person. You could just wander around with the sailors and see what kind of scuttlebutt you can pick up.
But I'd also like to go north to that village and find out what they have going on there.
Yes. And this goes back to a quick meta note. Remember, I will constantly be throwing stuff at you, so don't feel you have to pursue anything that I give you directly. None of it is me saying you must go this way. Instead, it's simply providing you with enough information
It's
that
our
you guys
platter.
can.
You
has
may
gotten
go there.
another
well, I
element.
think we discussed the ship only because of those stones, right? Because
Yeah.
the way that.
Well, there's a whole lot more than just that. He said 20 crates were stolen. Eyewitnesses said it was more like 50. He said it was a lightning attack. Someone else said it took them hours and hours to do it.
Yeah.
Some of them said that monsters were involved. Others said it was just the sappers, and so
Yeah, so I mean, we have all of that information, but also we got the information from copper locks that those stones can set up a pretty impervious defense if we set
Yeah.
them up the right way. So, with a mega weapon out there,
having a counter would be nice.
it would be nice. Especially if she was. I mean,
Sylvan what?
and we-
Sylvan Grove.
so maybe we still don't have anywhere to keep all our stuff. I mean, we figured out the garrison stuff and we gave people assignments, so we
Mhm.
don't have to deal with the day-to-day minutia. But we have more adventuring to do.
Yes.
Um,
And this goes back to the concept of the platter, that they'd be having a big place of all the things that could be done, and then choosing which ones you want to chase.
so we know we know two things: that they have projectile weapons that are instant kills, left back your head. We know that their mega weapon can level towns to varying degrees. It can go full maximum and destroy the capital, or it can be downgraded to whatever and destroy a town like
Still,
Sylvan,
yes, still.
Sylvan Grove.
Did he say that there was construction going on in that town? Did he mention anything about that?
He said there was one of their craft sitting in the center.
Okay.
So
It's sitting directly on a religious site. So they kind of defiled local religious concepts, but that had something to do also with the fact that there's the tornado emanating from it.
So yeah, any other suggestions? I'm in for what you said, going after that boat.
Yeah, I think we should
Okay.
pursue that.
Okay.
'cause-
Let's go see his father.
So Well, you're heading down to the coast. You could go to a singular source and gather direct information. You could also do scuttlebutt, or you could do a combination.
Let's do a combination. You can go directly to your father. I can listen. Maybe you guys better listen, and maybe I can cajole.
Well, if we're doing combination, one of
I think
some
we should just all go.
I think Drunken Master should probably go to one of the local bars and figure out where they.
I'm
The
gonna
bar
go to
with
the.
all the
I'm gonna put on my
sailors
best.
out on the
Once again,
floor.
I take out my disguise kit, put on my best seafarer's disguise, and hit.
Nice. He puts on his pirate. He puts on his eye patch and his fake hook.
I'll lose
Extends
you.
his hand. Extends his hand that extra foot and a half.
There is-
Sir, I demand you return your AH.
Where's the best bar for him to go to?
Well, you guys have talked. I've been to several of the bars. You tell me which one.
Well, not
mean,
Hannah's
I'm-
bar.
I'm going to
That's
the
where
one.
the soldiers go.
I'm going to the one closest proximity to the dock. So the
Good
one that's
idea.
right off the harbor. The first food and alcohol and men or women, we're inclusive in Nycos, that any seafarer would want to see. So that's where I'm headed.
I think that's the net. Isn't that what we called the gathering net?
The gathering net.
Let me double check. Well, you don't want to go to the barracks and jail, at least not yet. You may end up there. The empty net.
Okay.
Yep, it's actually it's actually down on the dock area. It actually says here, troublemakers are thrown out the door, over the railing, and into the reeking harbor. Great. Town guard only come if called. Oh, guess who the proprietor there is? You'd find this out after a few minutes of scuttlebutt. The place is owned by Prime Water Incorporated.
Oh, nice. So
So you find that he's got his tendrils a little narrower than you thought.
Narrower, broad, they're reaching out.
it's very, very nail on the head.
Yes, exactly. Appropriate that he owns that one. Let's see here. The other one is the snapping line. And this is actually made of, they actually took several decommissioned fishing ships, strapped them together, and dragged them up on the shore. So that bar is nothing but inns. It smells like fish. They've never scrubbed the smell out. Sailors and fishers gather there to trade stories and drink. So that's your local hangout that doesn't have a seedy reputation.
Yeah, I think what I'm looking for is
The empty net?
the seedy reputation.
Yes, the empty net. All right, so
I'm gonna put on 2 eye patches just to confuse people.
There you go.
Two singular eye.
I'm
and then you paint an eye on one, right?
The all-seeing eye. No, you paint an eye right here. The third eye. Must open up the third eye.
Alrighty, and so we go over here to our scuttlebutt list. All right, so go ahead and roll a 10-sided for me.
That's 12.
Oh, sorry. I'm still not 100% on my dice.
The one with the double zero.
Oh, that one.
Those are 10s.
There you go. That's a 10.
Oh, there you
Alrighty, you get right for the jugular. Yeah, it's the first person you talk to said you even mention sea devils, and this person comes out of the woods. Sea devils! I tell you they're real. I saw it myself. It was horrible. It was horrible. I was out on a night fishing mission, and he was using a skiff. You know, the biggest trout don't travel in schools. You know why?
go. They eat the other trout.
No, they already they already graduated.
Oh, okay.
So they
Yeah, the
swim
teachers.
alone. The true tuna swim alone.
I laugh and I clank his cup, hoping that he's joking. He doesn't think fish actually graduate from school, but I'm just thinking that.
Yeah, no, it doesn't matter. He's so stoned, so drunk, so far out of it, he doesn't. Hey, walk like men. But their eyes never blink. That's what I remember the most, is the big, staring eyes. Anyway, they came upon me at night, and I had hooked 3 massive trout that day, tuna that day, had them aboard on ice, and it was going to be a great payday. And they crawled on board and asked whose watch it was. I didn't know what they meant because there was nobody on watch. It was just me, and I was sleeping. Anyway, they had their ship pull up alongside. The thing was massive. Must have been 80 feet of waterline, and I remember they had this gantry for bringing cargo, and it looked like it was big enough to possibly even lift my craft out of the water if they so desired. Instead, they took the 2 of my finest tuna, and they gave me this. And he holds out a crystal, circular, jagged on one side, flat on the other. Kind of look like this. Only the stones that are coming out of it were multiple colors, and the ring around it was white.
Did this guy give me his name? Or no?
Oh, I'm Denablus.
Denablus, are you willing to part with that crystal for a price?
Yeah, King's ransom. Or
What about a couple more cups of drink?
ha! No, I am not so inebriated as such would work for me. No,
Maybe a couple big trout.
a crown.
Like an actual crown, just something you can wear.
No, numerically.
Oh, numerical crown. Okay.
Here you go. Oh, if you want to give me the kingdom, if you got the parchment, I'll take it from you. Okay, so there's a seed right there. You realize there actually is a legend that Palimpsest exists.
I'm gonna do something sketchy, but we're in a seedy part of town. I keep feeding him drinks.
Okay,
And
well,
I keep-
another 2 drinks, he'll be down.
Yeah, and I sleight of hand and I steal the crystal.
Oh, I see. Go ahead and make your wisdom save when you touch it.
Oh crap!
Sorry.
That's okay.
This guy has wisdom. This guy.
No, it's when you touch
you're
it.
You're
right.
a
You
monk.
actually
You
have
better
wisdom.
have wisdom.
No. I'm talking about the guy that he's just walking around. Okay, so I have 16 plus 3.
This is a
Oh,
perception.
He could
So
actually
how-
be under ill effects of the crystal,
So
and we don't
20.
even know it.
So plus 3, 16 plus my.
Okay, so when you touch it,
So 19 total.
okay,
Okay.
so you actually reveal it in his pocket while he's snoozing.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see how you touch it.
I do the classic 2-finger draw from the pocket, and I just take it.
Okay, as soon as your fingers come within like a quarter of an inch of it, you remember a scene that is not in your historic memory. You remember being on a table with the Yarlum standing over you, and crystalline spikes going into your body from different angles, and not feeling any pain, but realizing that they're basically experimenting on you.
Mm-hmm.
Who are the Yarlin?
He's never told anybody.
Oh,
Nice. Good movie reference. Don't run, we are your friends. Great. Greatest movie ever.
which
Right.
one?
I know which one.
Do
Mars
I
Attacks.
recoil
What?
or
Mars
do I-
Yeah, exactly. No, you made the
As soon as he
save, so you
said
didn't
that,
actually
"Don't
touch
run,
it.
we are your
Okay.
friends."
I'm
That's
sorry, I
my-
just didn't hear what.
But it
I just
Yeah.
didn't
It's like
hear
it
the words.
tears
Yeah,
a little
yeah,
corner
yeah.
of your
Yeah.
mind.
Mars?
Just fractures
Huh?
whatever
What
wall
was
I
the
had
name
up.
of
Just
the
yeah,
movie?
just cracks that
Mars
are
Attacks.
done.
Mars Attacks.
Okay.
Mars. Okay.
If you've never seen it, it's
No, oh my God. Yeah, Tim Burton. Yeah, uh-huh.
Yeah.
So
my favorite bit of that movie. My favorite of all of the sketches in that movie. My favorite bit of that film is just watching the ships rotate and realizing he had the presence of mind to make them look like a model, so that when they rotate, they don't rotate square. If you've ever noticed it, they don't spin exactly; they wobble.
Yeah. Okay.
He built that in to make it look like it was the older version. I actually saw the original Mars Attacks, and he did a pretty good job of stealing just about everything from the first one.
Now, I think I've seen the old version.
The black and white one. It was originally filmed in black and white.
No, I saw the color one.
Yeah, you had to have seen the color one, because that's the one that was really blown up, and Jack Nicholson gets to play 3 separate roles, and
President.
okay. So
he's president and the buyer of the hotel.
So I try to nudge him a little more and just ask him where he was fishing that night when he ran into.
Oh, he goes off of Haunted Mansion Bay.
Okay, Scooby.
And I removed my mask and I would have got away with it just to scare him a little bit. If it wasn't for these meddling kids. Haunted. Sorry, what was the second part?
Haunted House Bay.
Haunted house.
Haunted Mansion Bay.
Mansion Bay.
You guys have been there. There's a guy setting up a folding chair. Remember?
And
Recruiting.
so I do another scan
I'm
of the bar and
missing
see if
some arrows.
Oh,
anybody else.
there's a lot of other people. That was just one piece of scuttlebutt. I got other people to get to. So
Got it. I'm gonna go to the restroom.
okay.
I'm not going to say no.
And we're not going to follow. We'll wait here. All right. So, random scuttlebutt, or are you waiting to talk to Dad? Or do you have somebody? Okay. So roll a 10 second.
D20?
Yep.
7.
7. Yeah, you talk to a guy. Says I don't believe they exist. Says I seen them putting on their rubber suits over at the Whole Watch Tower. I seen them. There must have been about 10 of them, and 4 of them put on these rubber suits, and they climbed over the wall and got into the tower and caused all kinds of mischief and stole one of the cases that had been given to crates that had been given to the watch by my good friend Gellin.
Where was this?
Whole Watch Tower?
Whole Watch Tower.
Yeah. The Hool is there's a bog just north of the city that's kind of like the Sargasso. If your ship isn't paying attention, you can get into the shallows and get mired. Crewmen have been murdered there by brigands who live in the Hool, and so the Whole Watch Tower is the guards.
He's paying the guards off not to see.
Anyway, I can prove it too. You can find some of their rubber suits to this day. Just south of the Whole Watch Tower, there's an old shack, and you'll be able to tell because it's got a dismembered
What's the name of the monk?
corpse. Teo Namid?
T. T-H-E with an apostrophe in the middle of T.
And anyway, the dismembered body actually has its lower leg withdrawn from the rest of the body. Just like I'm pulling your leg right now. Guy laughs at you.
Yeah.
Gotta have.
Don't touch me again.
Don't come around me anymore. You stay over there.
Well, thank you for the information.
Oh, sure.
I'll pass them. If you hear anything, let me know.
You got it.
I'll give him a silver.
Why, thank you. Never knew my lies were so valuable. Excellent.
I didn't check.
Yeah. Well, you can always go and see if you can find the house he's talking about. Maybe he's telling the truth, maybe he's not. Maybe there's something to it. So, you going to go talk to Dad directly, or just going to go get the boat ready for sailing and all of that?
Oh, I'm waiting for them to get back because they probably want to talk to Dad more than I do.
True.
So I'll just get the ship ready.
Okay. In getting the ship ready, the crew asks if we're going to load some of the fire.
The fire?
Yeah, the Greek fire.
Maybe a half case this time.
Okay. We going after him this time?
Them?
Yeah, the demons, the devils.
There's a strong chance.
Yeah, well, there's been ever since the attack night before last or whatever, we've been looking for opportunities to go after him. You heard about the unsinkable, right?
I have, but what do you know about it?
Nice, nice. The unsinkable is what they're calling the submersible.
Yes, the submersible.
They saw it getting loaded, and there's several of the crewmen saw it getting loaded. They also agree that what they saw loading it were Sapratza. But they do say that there was something left at the dock watching that was not from the Sapratza at all.
Something at the dock was watching?
Yeah, some weird fell beast crawled out of the water and sat on the shore like a toad. And basically watched the operation, and once the unsinkable was loaded, as they submerged the vessel, the toad crawled back down the cliff face into the water.
I see.
That ties to what the paladin had noted.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So we'll load the full case of Greek fire.
All right. Alrighty. So, you all kind of, you were asking for additional.
No, it's fine.
No, just the other.
Two.
What's that? Oh yeah.
Rachel?
Yeah. So go ahead and roll a 10-sided for me. Miri, not Miri. Tiara.
Tiara. 8.
Okay, so what you get, basically, instead of talking about the creatures specifically, is that the rumor is that the 7 princes are going to withdraw support from all coastal areas, claiming to have found Talan, an ancient city, Tlan, in the waters.
Tlan. Talan.
Yes,
Ancient
and that they are going to rebuild the Sumerian hegemony from Talan instead of trying to land on any coast.
Okay.
And for this reason, they are withdrawing their support from coastal areas like Selk. And it's got a bunch of the sailors, particularly those that were traditionalists, a little concerned. Because if the sea princes withdraw support, then what's left of this entire country could be in trouble, because there is no longer a king, and without the princes, they'd have no structure. That it might fall to ruin.
Yeah, that's true.
All right. So therefore, you guys have all gotten some information. I'll come back to the general. The overarching belief is that the devils are an alien race, a different creature type. Some say they're merfolk. Some say they are possibly something known as fish, an alien race that once traded with people from below the surface.
Can I share a theory with the group?
Sure.
This sounds scammy to me. If you have merfolk and you have all of these things, why? The thing. Were you on the docks with me, or was it the other gentleman when I went in the first time?
That's the other
And
one.
I saw the monster. That thing was separate. The thing that jumped into this submersible, or what are they calling it? They're calling it a
Unsinkable.
unsinkable. Those needed air.
Well, yeah, I was seeing that same thing. How
Right?
much of the sea devils do I know of?
They're-
If I hunt them before, are they in books?
Okay. So the concept of seaborne creatures go all the way back to there's probably a dozen different creatures I could name that you could think of from the D&D world that would possibly fit. There are the coastal Sahuagin, there's the deep water Lokatha, there are different forms of merfolk, there are tritons, there are a lot of different creatures, but none of them, I mean all of those breathe water.
Okay. Yeah, that was all I was getting to. That
Whatever
something's
these-
going on because they're using, as you explained it, they're using trapped air.
Yeah. And not just that, the way the way that the Nablus explained it to me, it sounded they were communicating with each other and who's on watch. They gave him something much more, less nefarious, more mercy than we would assume with these-
mercenary.
mercenary
Mhm.
than what we would assume with these types of things. So yeah, I think we're knowing a scam when I see one. I think somebody is pulling the wool over the eyes of people in this town and has created this entire legend of these sea demons and has some semblance of nefariousness about them, but they're really writing it out. And I think we have to go to Haunted Mansion Lake, Haunted Mansion Bay.
Were you there last time?
No, he
No.
wasn't.
Oh.
So you might want to tell him what you know about Haunted Mansion Bay.
So, that place is a mess. There is a lot of odd going-ons there. You remember that, correct?
Oh, yeah. And when we finally met the person that we were supposed to meet nowhere near the Haunted Mansion, they say they never go up there. It's too much.
But doesn't that seem like a good place to set up? If you have that legend around a place, isn't that a good place to set up a massive 80-foot
And what about
submersible?
that creature on the beach in the throne-like chair? with
We
the
could
red-
ask him, but
Yeah, you might want to explain what that looked like a little
Yeah.
bit more clearly.
yeah. So
Undead.
that being was
That
some
was
sort
my
of
thinking. He was undead.
lich.
Could have been without having the knowledge of liches. He was definitely undead.
Imagine somebody who's dead and has been underwater for several days
So they're just decayed.
and
Bloated.
soggy, bloated, eyes sunken, skin hanging off of
Bones that but
sticking
underneath.
out. Yeah,
Where the skin encounters a bone.
whatever it is,
tends to
it
roll
walked
over.
out of the water and sat on a throne and motioned for the dead to walk out of the water.
And then he says, you don't know what's coming.
And this is before Candlefall.
Yeah.
You can
So you're going, are you
try
sure
to
you really
talk
want to go there?
We can try to talk to him. Hopefully, he doesn't outright attack us. We are more powerful now. We might be able to deal with him.
Oh, yeah. From first
Well,
level,
it's the
we
second
are
level.
double as strong. We are now second level. We will
We're
never
twice
have.
as powerful.
Yeah, we will never have as great a jump from first to
But I'm,
second.
I'm saying I don't know why we have to like from Denoblis. He was out on the water just fishing, and he got their attention.
Yeah, you need because they didn't hear
Mhm.
the story. So you
Yeah.
have to-
Okay. So like the way the fisherman told me, he was on the water night fishing,
Mhm.
didn't interact with anybody, and was confronted by these things. And they didn't confront him and attack him immediately. They actually traded with him. Granted, the thing they traded for was something I didn't have the gall to steal. I was close though.
But the gold,
Describe the.
It was a crystal, multicolored, circular, and it was something they traded him for 2 tuna fish.
Do you still have it on you, or you?
No, when I
attempted?
reached for it, it brought back memories I don't remember having. I was living something that I don't remember living through, and it terrified me when I got closer to touching it. So, just from what that conversation was with him, they approached him, they gave him this, which I don't know was a blessing or a curse. I don't know how he can even stand to have it on his person, whereas I couldn't even get close to it.
Did you see where he was at when this occurred?
Yes, he did.
Yeah, at Haunted Mansion Bay.
What direction is that? Well, is that east from where we're
Yeah,
at?
it's off the coast too.
Okay.
You've been there.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just making sure it's.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
Haunted
Eastward.
Mansion Bay.
But
It's
he's-
the bay of the mansion.
It's the bay where you can see the mansion.
Yeah. I'm just,
But he didn't interact with anybody. He said the only interaction he had that evening after he fell asleep was these large monster things coming aboard his ship, and the most terrifying thing about them was that they didn't blink. But they spoke like humans, and they asked about the watch. And I think he...
did he describe them?
Yes, humanoid, huge, somewhat fish-like spines running the top of their head down their backs, sharp, drippy claws at the ends of extremely long fingers with webbing between them.
If
And the main thing is that
What
they
in
don't
the heck would
that their eyes are on the side of their heads and they don't blink. So it's the baleful staring
Why would
eyes.
they steal fish from
they didn't
him?
steal it, though. They traded. They gave him this crystal, which, once again, I don't know if it was a curse or a blessing, but they gave him something
In trade for the fish.
in trade for the
something fishy about this.
Does
Nice!
I just had to use.
PP.
I pull a drink out of my pocket at the time, at the comment for the day.
it concerned? So you went to touch it, and you had visions of something.
Happening to me that I don't remember.
The way he worded it was very, very appropriate.
Yeah.
I remembered things I don't remember happening.
Yeah. Then
And they terrified me.
They terrified me.
apparently this guy is not sensitive to it, or he does not.
Might be the reason why he drinks so much.
Yeah, I mean, this guy was drunk. But he also gave us this is only if we want to pursue this ship. He saw the full ship. He gave us our first actual account of how long the ship was. Remember, when I was pursuing it, I had the back end and I was underwater, so I couldn't see the full
Size of it.
But he said 80 feet. It had
80 feet waterline, which
You know,
means
it,
it'd be
it
longer
also
than that.
Yeah.
concerns me that a halfling was part of this, which means it now begins to lead me to believe that there might be 2 separate groups. One that is more benign, and one that is causing all these problems, maybe wearing some sort of disguise to make them seem to be these creatures.
Well, what I'm getting is I think it's the same group, and I think it's a group that's looking past what we've created on land with our coalition, with our rainbow connection,
Coalition.
With the now?
with the now, I think they had something like that for more nefarious reasons. And
Well, do recall that there is a second subtext group that you guys know of, the Scarlet Brotherhood. You don't know a lot about it, but this sounds like this could be possibly a Scarlet Brotherhood operation if it's fraudulent, if it's faked, if it's not real. Because the Scarlet Brotherhood is operating behind the Seven Princes. They're not actually part. They're not. They acknowledge some of the Sea Princes, but not all seven.
Maybe we can get one of the princes
you
to
want-
break away and establish some court leadership here.
Well, that
I
halfling
think
that
there is definitely a leadership problem.
the halfling that dove in, he dove in from a ship that had the flag of the second prince.
There you go.
So it could be the second prince who's behind everything.
What was it that I remember about the second prince? There was something about him.
You want to go fishing?
Fortuna?
Who wants to go fishing here?
Fortuna.
Night fishing.
Okay.
I'll bring the disguise.
The palm
Then
is
now, I think it's about
Mhm.
right now is the time to decide.
Well,
Which one are we
you
going
still
to
haven't talked to
Oh, Kern.
his father.
his father.
Kern. Oh, he hasn't talked to his father. We're going to go talk. Kern, are you coming with us?
I'm helping load up the ship.
At this point, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not even with you guys.
Okay, let's go down and talk to the elder with an E.
Nice way to say it. The elder with an E.
Well, should we bring Kern along?
Who?
Of course. You could be
We
going
should bring
down.
No, no, best answer. Who?
There's a Kern? There's a who?
Of course you call him an elder. He's
think
the
Kern
elder.
should
No, no. Do you think he's saying we should go get Kern if we're going to go talk to his dad?
He didn't evidence very much interest in going talking to his dad, so why should we force him to go talk to his dad?
I mean, none of us would have a better conversation with him than he would. Like, it's his dad.
And you did do work with Gellin.
Yes.
Yeah, like he's.
And
he's
Gellin and the elder with an E don't.
Didn't do any work for him.
They're not the best of friends.
Yeah, I never did work for Gellin.
Well, technically, I'm currently doing work for Gellin. We all are, because we're trying to find out who stole all this stuff. Like, that news has got around that now is working on finding who stole all of Gellin's stuff.
I don't like the man. I don't like what he's doing.
But I would
Dealing
still.
in that stuff.
But I would still say, even if we didn't have any.
You
like,
might want to relate what they told you about the Hool Watch Tower.
Yeah. Okay.
Because that,
Mhm.
even though that's kind of sketchy, it kind of fits with his theory.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
I did talk to a certain gentleman. I think it was.
just a drunk sailor.
That's polite.
Yeah.
There's hundreds of them. You
I
would-
I don't think I found very many.
So
but-
the whole idea of that this is just a large ruse does make sense, because someone did mention that he witnessed seeing people wearing rubber suits, actually taking them off, putting them back on.
Where was that at?
He witnessed it at the whole watchtower.
Okay.
Like whole W-H-O?
Hool. H-O-O-L. That's the Hool is what they call the bog, the Sargasso vortex, basically the place where the ships get stuck in the mires.
Yeah.
Okay, I would say then one of the quickest things to do is after we talk to Kellen's father, is maybe go out there or wait for Kern to come back. We go out and check the shack. You did say it was a shack.
Right.
Yeah, to the south of the tower. He mentioned that we would find evidence of of that in an old shack to the south.
But then he made the horrible pun about it being marked by a dismembered body, and the one
yeah.
leg being dragged away, just like somebody pulled that leg away, just like I'm pulling yours. So
Yeah.
Well, then we take a chance going out there, but nothing ventured, nothing gained.
I say
Okay.
we
Well,
find Kern
the
first.
submarine, or this submersible,
Yeah.
I believe if this is all just a ruse, they're using Haunted Mansion Bay as their base of operation.
Well, I think we know
Because
that
there's a lot
docking
of
there.
cave systems that we could, at the time, we just couldn't explore every.
Then there was a question about those gold weapons. Gold is just very poor metal to use as a weapon.
yeah, that you're the only one the two of you are the only ones that remembered that bit of the story. So
Yeah.
for clarification, they found a case of
I didn't.
yeah, you found you yeah, but you mentioned it, you showed it to others. So, but what was in the case?
Yes,
But I did
I
mention
showed
it's just
400 arrowheads.
That's right.
Made of gold, but I detected magic on them.
Actually, there was 600 in the box.
No.
Well, there was
And you
500
detected
in the
magic on
box.
them?
Omission.
Yeah, omission. He omitted to say that he took 100.
Right, but you never saw the other
No,
100.
no.
So it was a
I
case
didn't.
built for
This
500,
is
but it's
outside.
only got
Meta. She's
Yeah.
just telling meta.
Yeah.
I mean, I respect it.
Well, it's gold.
I respect it.
I still have them.
I mean-
I haven't done anything with them.
So you detected magic on? Do you know was it good or evil magic? Or...
You can't detect that.
Oh, you can't detect
Mm.
it.
That's
can't-
a separate set of magics.
You can't detect it.
Okay, so
I want to tell if the soil is good or evil.
So
I'm not a cleric.
Even they can't
so
do that.
I go
Consecrate,
find Kern.
Okay.
They can
So
find
you're
out
gonna
if
go find
something's
Kern.
consecrated or not.
Doesn't mean it's good or evil. It's just consecrated or desecrated.
Yeah, desecrated. That's.
You guys are heading to the Withany Estate. Then.
Yeah, and I'll just grab Kern and ask him if he can come with us to. If
Okay.
he's, and I'll, if
I'm
he
at
if
the
he-
Withany Estate.
Oh,
No, but you're
I thought
actually
you were at
on
the
board the
dock.
saddle.
Yeah, which is at the Withany Estate.
Right. But when I'm getting
That's
at-
the only thing I'm pointing out is I'm already there.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, but
So-
you're
so
not
now-
you're not where your dad is. What
True.
I'm saying, getting at, and
True.
he wants to make sure that you're aware that they're going to go see your dad, even if you don't want to go see him. He wants to. He's crossing all of his T's and dotting all his I's, because behind it all, he's a businessman. Hate to keep reminding him of that. He's like, no, I don't do that anymore. I'm not that kind of organized. But there's a T that needs to be crossed here. Damn it!
I want to leave that part of my past behind, but I'm going to keep using it.
Exactly.
I have my business cards for a
Keeps
reason.
dragging me back in.
I keep dragging
I
myself back
crossed
in.
out the name that was on him and I wrote Teonom on all my business cards.
Hold on, let me get the glimpse of this.
Yeah, you get the bullets and start screaming.
So yeah, I just come up to
Chef.
Kern and I say, hey, we're and I just give him a download of all the information that the three of us got.
Sure.
So kind of explain that all to him. Even the theory, just all that stuff, and saying we want to talk to your father, see if we can get some access to some.
So, are you going to then reciprocate and tell him what you found out about what the crew expects and everything about the?
Be prepared for a nice fish roast.
Okay.
be prepared for what? Okay.
I ask him. Can I ask you? What do you mean? If he asks for, if he gives me more.
Everything will just be prepared and ready.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. Thank you.
So, did you want to go with them to go talk to your dad, or you don't care?
Do you want me to go with you?
I would love to have you there because.
Well,
I-
okay, then
Yeah.
thank you for saying that you'd like me to join instead of just asking if I
One
want
question,
to.
Kurt.
I'll go.
If
Yeah.
we want to take the ship, do we need your father's permission? I can't remember.
Permeation.
Or do you?
More than likely, he's going to at least need to say it's okay for the crew to join us.
Okay.
We might be
I
able
see.
to,
That's
if
what
we
I'm
were to
kinda
man it
confused on.
ourselves, take it, but the crew are under his
Essential.
employ.
Okay.
And then I ask you
Permission.
if
Permission.
there's any way that like tonight or something we can borrow like a smaller dinghy for a more stealthy 4-person operation rather than the giant.
Although you can
Yeah,
rent
the,
you
the
can
saddle
rent.
comes with a dinghy.
Okay.
Yeah.
How else are you
Well,
supposed
not
to get
not
out?
quite a dinghy. It needs to be a longboat, something that's manned by four oars. You know, you don't want to take a dinghy out in the open ocean.
Oh no.
No, this is
I
for the
guarantee
bay.
it.
This is for the bay. So combat.
They're saying that assuming that you went out aboard the saddle and you used the dinghy to go into the bay is all they're suggesting.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, he's coming in.
Alrighty. So
I hang.
big man is
I,
signing papers and is basically paying off his crewmen for their last fishing mission. How are you guys doing? Exciting times, aren't they?
Yes, very busy.
Yeah. How'd you arrange it so we could actually use some of Gellen's warehouse space?
Shrewd and cunning.
Good, good. And getting past that 10%, that was a good thing too. I don't know how that happened. But...
fear is a powerful motivator.
Oh, you got Gellen afraid?
Oh no, somebody else did that for us, but we're his security blanket.
Oh, I heard about the raid. So you guys pursuing that for him or?
Not for him, but if there's some, if there,
Oh, you're not doing it for them, but you're doing it for now.
yeah, if there's somebody out there stealing, if we potentially put Now's inventory in there, we need to make sure it's secure. There aren't a lot of secure places in town right now.
True. It's rather chaotic times. So, what can I do for you?
They want to get back in the saddle.
Oh, use of the vessels certainly fine with me. He says we haven't got another fishing mission until after the storm's clear. But
But if I told you that if we use the saddle and we figure out if our final venture point is all set, we heard that there's good tuna fishing in the location we're talking about.
well, then that'd be handy that you'll have a tuna fishing crew as your primary crew.
Exactly.
If you told me you were going to go and face off, say, against a 32 gun, flagship, then we'd be in a different condition, and I'd be saying, no, don't
And
do it.
what
You
about
already
an
said
80
yes.
foot unsinkable?
Well, I don't think that's
Well, you're not going to be engaging it, are you?
He just said yes.
Tracking it home.
With a surface vessel.
Anything we dredge up afterwards.
Oh,
is
God.
just
You
a
did
bonus.
You and I
notice
are
the
paying
bit where
attention
it
to
went
what's
underwater.
Yes.
Oh, that's it. We're not paying attention to anything she said.
Okay.
See, the waters of heaven are so clear that you look right down to the bottom.
Yes. And if
So
you look
that's her?
If you look into the eyes of the storm, you will fall into it. That's true.
Yeah.
but we're good on the ships. Just real quick. That was we were
That you have permission to use this out. Yes.
okay. So yeah,
I'm just clarifying, though. You're not
we're not
thinking
fighting.
of going.
No.
Yeah.
No. We're not trying to get into.
You're not going to take a broadside from a capital. ship.
Absolutely not. So we taking from Kern's advice that he whispered to me, I just go to everybody. I thank him for his time, and I say, hey.
You didn't want to ask more. You were talking about asking information about the devils and stuff, and you haven't even asked a question about
But
that.
didn't we felt like we got all the information?
No.
You got information from a bunch of other scuttlebutt sources. You never came to the direct.
You never asked him on any of it.
Yeah. So what do you know about
I think.
Oh, the devils?
the
Sea devils? Whatever Prime Water has done to ingratiate himself with the seven princes has everything to do with his personal relationship with the Sabrazzo. I know this for a fact because until the Sabrazzo incursions began, the name Prime Water meant nothing here. When we first started losing vessels to the Sea Devils, along comes Galen Prime Water. He makes a show of balancing the position between the king and the princes, and everything started getting better.
Meta, real quick. Does the term mafia mean anything in this world?
No.
No. Okay. Just
That
making.
sounds pretty close.
Yeah. I'm just like, I just wanted to. See.
There is a nation. There is a nation that operates under the vendetta system.
Okay. So like organized crime.
So
is
yeah,
more of
there is a place in the world
a- for
where you hear you hear the violin music a lot. You're eating spaghetti in the paranoid corner of restaurants. You know?
Got it. I just wanted to try to see it. Just
Everyone talks
more
in
under-
double speak.
More understanding.
Yes, matter of fact,
Jimmy the Butcher
they
needs,
invented
have an accident.
insurance,
Okay.
magical insurance, life insurance,
Non-magical life insurance.
Okay. So yeah, that's
religious insurance.
That's good to know.
Do you know
Yes,
anything
that's
about
true.
the second prince?
Oh, I know quite a bit about all the seven princes. I've served under two of them, and they've the seven collectively have protected this region from countless external forces.
Have you heard anything about them withdrawing to an island that they found?
No, but I have heard a legend about. I've heard that they're searching for this place they call Talon.
Talon.
Oh, so tell me what you know.
I just stories on the dock,
And it's another
And it
reverse
said-
interrogation.
and it was a matter of that they had found the island, and they're withdrawing support for the coastal area.
Oh, I don't think that's true. They have not said anything to me about withdrawing. So
is dealing in some insider trading. I think that's the businessman should put an end to that.
Considering
Yeah,
the fact right
I'm here.
now
I should have a
that
talk to her about that.
that things are up in the air here concerning, shall we say, the ruler down, or maybe levels.
I spill my drink on you to stop the
okay,
conversation.
okay.
I'm so sorry. And then I hope somebody nudges her and says, like, we don't want to give too much information to people. Like, he doesn't know what we know, and we don't want him to know what we know.
I'm not sure we know what we know.
I don't. Yeah, but also,
You don't want to be spreading rumors.
If he knows 10 things, you don't always want to give him 13 things to know if we only know 3. We want to get on an even playing field, not make
Yeah,
everyone else we talk to more brought up.
So you feel it's all
because
nonsense.
No, because everybody. Okay. Let's stop and have a quick meta conversation.
Yeah.
I, as game master, am going to give you tons of information, but the sources that give it to you aren't always on the same playing field with you. They're not all having the same agenda you have, and while this is his father, which makes it a close relationship, so it feels like it should be pretty close to the same. His relationship with the Seven Princes is very loyal towards the Scarlet Brotherhood aspect, that he wants a certain person put back as king. But he won't ever say that. He knows that. He knows that his father's leanings are a little bit more radical than his own. And so his feeling about you talking about this stuff is like, ixnay on the ixpay. He stop. It's not shared. Don't give this information to Dad because Dad's agenda is different from ours. And that's the case of every NPC I've got. When you talk to my folks, you want to believe them because I'm the game master and I'm going to be telling you stuff. But some of those people are not telling you the truth.
And if you start sharing that, that could lead to more ramifications down the line.
Right. So
And plus, like I was saying before, we know 3 facts, they know 15. If we give them 18, but they give us nothing, we still have 3, but now they have 15.
So all he's just saying is that your Tiara's willingness to talk is perfectly logical,
Yes.
but they're trying to help you learn to be not less. They want you to be more circumspect.
And
Let's
she's just
go back to the
questing
second
for
part.
knowledge.
Who's this
There's
guy?
so much
Poker
that she
hand.
doesn't know,
Right.
and she's questing for knowledge.
And his reference to poker hand is just like you came in with a handful of cards and you go, is an ace any good?
How about a king? How about a queen? How about a jack? How about a 10? Oh, these are all terrible cards? I guess I fold.
No, but I think
I fold. Yeah.
No, yeah, and it's just from. It's not even from the spec. I definitely want everybody. Like, I want people to be engaged. I'm all about it. I just don't want him to have more information than us. Whoever the NPC is.
Yes. Oh.
He's
They
always
all
gonna
they all
more.
have their own agendas, and so they just want you to
Be cautious.
Well, and it's not for you. It was for. I wanted that to be a collective
Yeah.
because all of us at different times end up saying stuff that we wish we hadn't. So.
Yeah. I ended up at the bottom of the ocean for it.
Then you're gonna have to pull her aside.
Right, that was the whole
Say
spilling
another-
the,
This
the
is
whole
kinda-
spilling the
this is
drink.
kind of the pull aside.
That was what that.
And second prince.
So tell me,
Who is this
She
second
goes over
prince?
and she does a prestidigitation on it.
And I.
so you did ask a good question. Let's find out about the
Yeah.
princess.
Well, you're talking about second prince.
No, he's gonna get all the princes. So
Okay, but while that's happening, I just like go
They're
talk
all-
to Tiara.
I think I only
Just
have
explain
Okay.
everything we explained.
one
in
of
chat.
them.
Boom.
What's that?
I think I only have one of them.
Yeah. Who do you have?
She looked at you, we're not successful.
I don't
We don't
remember.
trust anybody. I say to her. First rule of coming into this or on this earth is
Pirate,
don't
right.
trust anybody.
Vesper? Or is that the ship?
Should we not trust
Vesper?
the Primus?
Yeah, I think that's a ship.
That's the ship name. Matter of fact, I think that may be the airship you were talking about.
Well, I want to get to one ship.
Are you asking about the ship for the kite or which one? The Swift?
The Black Pirate.
Oh, I don't know that one. I don't think
Yeah, that was Vesper.
Oh, that was Vesper.
Black Pirate. One.
Yeah, Captain Zentris.
I know what you mean. That's mine. I've had it this whole time.
Black Pirate. That's the first I'm hearing
What and who was the Black Pirate?
She's called the Black Queen.
Oh, he should?
No.
Mm-mm. It's a person.
Oh, a person.
Yes.
Very early on in the game.
Yes. Yes.
I
And we
wasn't
kind
here.
of washed some of those facts away.
Yeah, I wasn't here, so it's something I don't know.
So the seven princes are, these are not in any particular order. We'll figure out what the first through the seventh is in a little bit. But the seven names you'll need to know is Brandon Braid, and Braid is A-Y-D.
A-Y-D.
The second prince, by my reckoning, is Calidor Rhys, and that's R-H-Y-S-S.
Race, R-A-Y-S-S?
R-H-Y-S-S.
R-H-Y.
The third is Darken Boyles,
That's an unfortunate name.
B-O-Y-L-E-S. If you saw him, you'd understand why the name fits.
Kind of like the name Scar from The Lion King. Did he get it because he had a scar? Or because
No, he has boils all over him.
It's better than his original name.
That's what I'm saying. Like, was
Eleander.
Huh? Hmm? Hmm?
Mm-hmm.
Names ringing bells? Anyone?
yeah.
Felicity Sharp. Eleander is Voss, V-A-S-S.
So, did we have any knowledge that he was one of the princes this entire time?
I'm not telling you that he is or isn't.
Felicity
gotcha.
sounds like
You
a
can have
princess.
somebody else could have his same name, or
Okay.
he could
There's,
have.
Felicity
there's
what?
a thousand Kerns.
Yeah.
Felicity what?
Sharp,
Sharp.
S-H-R-P-E, like in Sharp's regiment.
Okay. That doesn't sound like a prince to me.
Taran
Princess.
Geesh.
Geesh?
Geesh.
Geesh.
G-E-I-S-H?
Close enough. Yep. G-double-E, but it doesn't matter.
I always argue spell it however
Oh, Gleesh.
makes it easier for you to
G-L-E.
remember it. So,
G-double-E. Yeah, Geesh. Halen Hardy.
oh, we're gonna go to Hardee's?
Ah.
Hale means healthy.
And so does Hardy, so. But it's Halen, H-A-L-E-N.
It's the land of the Hardy.
How many is that so far? That's 6?
That's 7.
1, 2,
That was 7?
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's
There you
7.
go.
And then there's one that is not one.
No.
Is Felicity a gay guy?
No, Felicity is a woman. She's known. She has many names, but she is known as the Queen of the River.
She's one of our princes.
So
She's
close
very
to
sharp.
being the Black Queen.
So close to being the Black Queen. She has raven hair.
Is she a tiefling by any chance?
What?
I can neither affirm nor deny any racial ties to any of these. You're hoping, but
So
Yeah.
these.
So which of these are the second?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
okay. So we have to. That is actually a matter of ranking.
Mm-hmm.
So when they speak of the second prince,
It's second highest.
Yeah.
the second in rank. Felicity is not the second.
Which 2 did you work for?
I worked for Halen Hardy.
So who's the first prince?
Currently, the first prince is. Go back to my names list here.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Should have asked you before you closed your.
Yeah. Okay. Well, no, I shouldn't have closed the book. That was like stupid. So, Taran is the current first prince.
So Taran is 1. And you worked for Halen, who was number.
Once the voting is closed, they don't actually talk about.
Oh, okay, but you guys just know who number 1 is. You know who the head honcho is.
We know who the head honcho is, and we know who. We don't know the number of the people that we serve,
Oh, gotcha. And then
because the whole idea is that you're when you are the first prince, it's not a matter of rank, but it's a matter of responsibility.
got it.
So if somebody else slights, it's always the first prince who has to take vendetta, or avenge.
So it changes around?
Yeah.
And then,
Brandon Braid is the other one I worked for.
Brad Braid. Okay.
You would know the name Calidor Reese because that is the person who under who you first served.
What was his dad's
Basically,
name?
it's the captain.
Dabros.
Dabros.
Dobro.
Dab.
D-O-B-R-O.
Dabro.
Not to be confused with Davros.
Dab.
Yeah, not to
That-
be
yeah,
confused
sorry.
with
Pickpocketed that dude.
Davros.
Not nice. Not nice that guy was. I just wanted to.
Any other questions you'd like
Oh,
to?
we're working for Iliander now, right? Or we have a job with them.
But we don't know if it's this Eliander.
You gotta get.
We
No, I
work
don't
for
remember.
ourselves, and they seem to
How do you
coincide.
first-
with
Well, the
these-
crates, the missing
Big-
crates.
Tunas.
The missing crates were Galen.
Other crates.
Oh, jeez, I forgot about those crates. I forgot. Well, technically, they're the
We're
same
in
crates.
deep right now.
But technically,
We're in deep.
golden arrowheads.
oh, another set of crates? Jesus Christ, you people in crates!
It's a sailing town.
Wait. There's three types of crates.
3 types of crates.
We hid some crates.
Let's-
In
well,
the swamp,
Let's talk
but
about it when we're not in front of this guy.
Yeah, exactly.
he's alright.
Okay.
Father wouldn't son.
The one prince that I will personally never serve because he actually has raided my vessels is Boyles. I'll never do any work directly for Dark and Boyles.
Even were you working when he would hit your shipments? Were you working for other princes at the time?
Once you're a servant of the Brotherhood, you're always a servant of
Okay.
the Brotherhood.
So he was hitting his own.
Brotherhood for life.
Blood in, blood out, man. No, I didn't say that. I did not say that.
So Boyles is a no-go. Persona non grata.
Dobro did not say that.
Part of the ship, part of the crew. Part of the ship, part of the crew.
Okay.
What did the elder with him call him? What is your
The
father called?
Dabros.
Dobro.
Dabro.
Dobro.
D-O-B-R-O.
Dabro, bro.
Dobro.
I imagine him wearing a tank top and a
No.
hat. Like a bro, like a beach bro.
Remind me, is Dabro human or Trelawney?
DeLorean.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
Okay, so
Yes, he was one of the. He was the one that brought the first shadow ships over.
what time is it? Day wise?
Midday?
Yeah, mid afternoon.
Because we did everything in the morning.
Yeah. Do you think your ship would be ready for us to sail by?
Well, considering that the high tide will happen sometime after sunset tonight, more than likely.
Okay, so
And the fact that Curran was over there
Preparing the vessel all
preparing the
day.
vessel.
so yeah.
Oh, that's right, the wind comes off the beach at night. Comes onshore during
So,
the day and off the shore at night.
So we'll use the cover of darkness to get to where we need to go, guys.
Sounds
I
good.
agree.
Okay.
Wait, we're headed.
Additional
Yeah.
cover
Are
of
we
darkness and
fishing?
fog. Remember, the whole area is covered with mist.
So
Are we fishing or hunting?
What's the difference?
Hunting for fish.
What's the difference?
We're heading for the haunted mansion bay.
They're going to go investigate the Haunted Mansion Bay. They want to go to the whole watchtower. They want to go. There's a whole lot of places you want to
Yeah,
go.
there is.
We'll go to the
We
mansion.
can go fly fishing.
so
She
does that mean we take like a
changes
short
in-
rest before we go, or
If you so desire. Do you
We
burn any
already
spells?
gained the benefits of a long rest.
yeah? So do we need anything?
She goes back
This
into
is some,
town
this is some time for some
and she wants to
downtime prep.
trade
So if there's any tools or
yeah,
anything we
good point.
need,
garments
Or-
in that he got her.
would you like to join me in a little game?
Okay.
And, you know,
Okay.
and
No problem.
I guess the boots. Did you get me boots or shoes?
I got you boots.
Okay.
I-
the boots are
Ladies,
okay.
ladies don't like shoes; they like boots, right?
Can I
She'll take
purchase
the boots, a pair of
what are
soft
those
pants
bags called?
that you can stick in the boots,
Bag of
The goodie
holding.
bags?
Bag
and
of
a
holding
loose
somewhere?
top, like a
Oh,
pencil
Fill
shirt.
packet
and a
full of
vest.
freaking alcohol.
No, we don't have any of those bags here in this town of Silk. Maybe in the next town over.
I stopped by. I just real quick while we're resting. I read
There might have been to the next town over. It's kind of.
blown up to smithereens. I go
What
buy.
happened to your commanding officer? Blown up, sir.
I buy a brewmaster's kit just in case I need to make some stuff on
Kurt,
the
do
fly.
we have by any chance any potions of water breathing or some sort of?
Oh.
Or you can
Are
acquire
you
any?
independently
I
rich?
unfortunately don't believe we have any potions of fish lips today.
And if anybody needs to learn how to
Fish
swim,
lips,
now's the
really
time
good.
to tell us.
Fish heads.
Do you know how to swim? I know you're 3 weeks old.
Oh, when they're that young, they
You
just
don't
know
have a- you don't have a
instinctually
swim-
how to do it.
If you don't have a swim speed, roll a 6-sided die.
I found something.
Usually, you don't do this until you're actually in the water. But
I'm just.
Okay.
I'm just.
you're walking along the bay. Hey, by the way,
And you have full
Tiara?
metal armor.
Does
Yeah.
survival count?
do you know how to swim? Whoosh.
To summarize, no.
I rolled a-
I'm consciously making
I
that
rolled a
decision,
2.
by the way.
Okay, you rolled a 2.
You
Yeah.
do it when you
The
go in the
D6.
water.
I rolled 2.
Yeah, no.
No swim speed. Okay.
See, this is what we ask. This is,
Do
I realize-
roll?
See.
I realized.
Yeah,
that,
roll a d6.
I realized I pushed in
Life
Lucius. and
saves.
Yep,
Huh?
she swims.
Lifesavers. Does the boat have?
There we
Or little
Gives you a swim
floaties?
speed of 30.
He has little monster floaties that he's swimming around in, just up to his shoulder, up
Yeah.
to his greaves. He has like little monster floaties.
The only security you have for falling in the water is if you don't know how to swim.
There is a
We will
priest
not
of
get
Procon, and we know that he can raise dead. So more than likely, you can probably get healing, get breath. Oh,
yeah, we
water
just need to
breathing
have your
potions
body
from
back,
Procon.
to him in a week.
We can fix your Procon body.
So yeah, I go check in with him and see if I can purchase some.
That's if we can find it, though. If we can't
Can I
find
just,
it,
or just
unfortunately.
run
we
past?
lost.
I asked him if he has any. What did you say their potions were called?
Water breathing.
Potions of fish lips?
Potions of fish lips. Because I just believe everything Kurt tells me at this point.
No, water breathing.
Because I have no. I'm just joking. Because I have
It
no
would be like
basis
a
of
fish.
magic.
Yes, it would be like a fish. So you have to
Water
breathe like a
breathing.
fish.
This is, and I say this is just like my.
He doesn't want. You don't want the water to breathe. You want to be able to breathe.
This is just like
And
my.
you need fish lips to breathe.
This is just like
a
my
fish.
pirate accent all over again.
I can't believe they took the air bubble away from the cleric.
No, so clerics do get underwater breathing, but it's like a 6th level spell.
Yeah, that's stupid. It used to be a first level spell, air bubble. Not this one.
Do you I go with
3.5
Proton.
Pathfinder.
Do you have any water breathing spells?
What are you using for?
Water breathing?
I know, but some people use that as a means to aboard other people's vessels in piracy.
No, we are not doing that. We are investigating the recent string of sea demon sightings, and
Sea devils?
sea devil sightings, and we think we found their point of origin. So we might have to do some underwater excavating.
Underwater travel. You're not digging underwater.
Underwater traversal.
There we go. Certainly, I can arrange for those.
Water walk.
How big's your
There's
party?
water walk.
That walks on top of it.
Oh, okay.
Are we saying we're going to just take the four of us and maybe
You as a
another?
sorcerer get it at 3rd level.
Can
Usually
we
it's
take
just
it
a
at
party.
third level
So
spell?
we can't take
Water
like an
walking does
NPC
you no
fifth person.
good.
Just
No,
No.
water
shits
breath.
and giggles.
Where you want a red?
Yeah.
You want a red shirt? Is that what you
Control
want?
water.
If I can take it.
Just
Because
in
You
case
just
water
want to give me
breath.
somebody to kill first?
Just in
You're
case.
multi-classing.
I mean, this
Hey.
guy. I'm
Hey,
taking,
adventure groups usually
You know,
bring
when
somebody
they
who's
get
got a
out-
taking a
pen.
whole
So I usually kill
crew.
them.
We're taking a whole crew.
water breathing
Can't-
big on my
we-
back.
And none of the crew is allowed to have a last name, right?
You're allowed. You have to put on this red shirt while we're going out into the water. Is that all right?
And no last names.
Yeah. We'll give you. You can have a Scottish.
I don't want to know about your kids.
No, what
Keep
I
your
was.
pictures away.
That's right.
What I was saying. So I said
I'm
we
not
could take
accountable.
Like a fifth person, like an NPC, just in case he has to murder somebody.
No,
What do
he,
we have in the crew?
You do have a whole army.
I know, but he's just he's
Yeah, I know. I'm just being calculated here. Just
Look, if you want a cabin boy, just get the leperine.
nice.
so 5. How long do the spells last?
An hour.
Potions last an hour.
Yeah.
Depends on the potion, but I believe water breathing does.
So 2 of each. So 10 total.
Okay. What kind of a donation will you be making to the Procon faith?
Oh, jeez. Hold
What
on.
is
I forgot my
tribute?
math. I forgot my bread math.
Give him your staff. It's a
Give him
donation.
the white crystal. Oh wait, you didn't take it.
How much? Nobody's here to.
Okay,
Can
it's
somebody
about-
just
I
remind
think
me
it's
of the
about
bread?
300
How
or
much? A
400
gold is how
gold.
many?
So a copper is 2, and
Oh.
1 silver is 100 copper, and a gold is 100 silver. So
Okay,
it's
and I'm-
20,000. 20,000.
Okay, just making sure. I
20,000.
flick him a silver, and I just flick him
200 loaves of bread, almost a year.
Wait a moment.
He says that'll cover one of them.
That'll cover 1.
Mhm.
So I throw him. I
And
throw
so-
him 10 more silver.
Okay.
I'm an ex-businessman, so what is it? So 10 silver is how much? Did I
These
just-
potions are a lot
A
cheaper
tenth of a
than they are
gold.
normally.
Yeah.
So 1/10 of a gold. So I'm at
So you have 90 silver
13.9.
still.
13.9 still.
So
No, if you had 14, you only paid him in what you have. He'd have to make change for you.
and congratulations, you're asking this poor church
I put
to
a
break
gold.
a gold.
Told him to break the gold. He looks down and goes, "Your donation is well accepted, and this will cover any needs for you for the foreseeable future."
Thank you. I have 13 gold now.
There you go.
Can I use it?
And you've got a lot of credit with the church.
So in
Your
the event
ocean-going
in the
church.
event of your death,
Which
they'll put 2
actually
coppers
makes
on your
more
eyes.
sense.
For some reason, he starts doing the gold. Gold! We got gold
No.
in the church!
No, no,
I'm
no.
just kidding.
No, actually, what he's thinking is, well, that'll cover one of their dead bodies when they come back.
Only one.
I'm only down to 13 gold now. That's,
I have 0 money.
yeah, I mean, I
Still can't figure out.
I know coppers buy baths. That's about all.
We have a bathhouse.
I had to
free for
pay
you.
a silver for my
So do I have to
first
wait
bath.
do I have to
Get
wait any
gypped.
time for the?
Actually, it's really funny when you slide the gold across there. He just motions for you to follow him back and leads you down a hallway, and you see there's rows and rows and rows of all kinds of potions and
And I-
phylacteries and
I store this in the back of my mind for future missions.
Holy symbols.
Phylacteries.
Alacrity.
Too bad I'm not there.
relics.
Okay. He's probably thinking
I-
reliquary, not actual phylactery.
Oh, okay.
Because
We're not
reliquary and
talking about
phylactery
a
are
legend
close to the same.
Alacrity.
I ask him.
No, there are actual phylacteries.
Does he have?
Yes.
And he has relics too.
Mhm.
I ask him. Hey, any chance you got a bag of holding in this place?
That's not a relic, sir.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
What about
Oh,
any? What?
There is a legend, however, that the greatest treasure to ever be held would be it's about the size of your heart. It's about the size of a fist. Green frog, bejeweled, diamonds for eyes. Just
Notes.
legends are that it is the most amazingly beautiful work of art ever.
A frog?
Mm-hmm. It represents the immortality of the soul as we transit from the living to death and back to life. Just as a frog goes through that transition.
And then I ask him if he has any good booze down here, like really sacred booze, like some good stuff.
Can I get some of the
He
sacramental wine?
goes, we have meetings on Fridays and Sundays.
And I point to my
Friends of Bill are always invited.
I point to the newly added portion on my business card that says "Drunken Master Monk." It's a part of my religion, bro.
I'm sorry.
We don't recognize you.
And I leave. I just take off.
The temple is
Just
broken.
walk out with your 10 potions
Officials.
of fish lips.
Somebody hold these. Does everybody got a bag?
I imagine there's just like a fish head, like little,
No, there's-
I have a
minnows
chest.
floating in there.
You have a chest?
It's a
I have
little.
my backpack too. So
It's a little like a milk carrier that's got all 10 in it.
And I
Little
It's got-
metal
it's got-
rack.
It's got like some chopped up sardine heads that you gotta actually swallow the chunks.
before I forget, I give 2 to everybody in the party just to make sure that they know I
I can swim, but what will a breastplate do to my swimming?
You will sink.
Just seem to
Just
follow.
let's see. Above ground, it reduces you to not having dex modifier, right?
No.
So
No.
That's the reason I gave it to her, was it does not give her disadvantage on any
Okay.
dex space stuff.
in that case, it won't affect it. Other than it's a good anchor. Help bring you down.
It accentuates.
I think it's gonna probably be because he can't swim.
What do you mean?
But when he's got
He's
water
part of
breathing, he still has a move rate of 30 across the bottom.
Well, I'm gonna take it off when we're on the boat.
Okay, so you're gonna
Or
take
the
off
ship.
all your stuff. Okay.
Well,
Okay, cool.
He's not the only one.
You can't swim either.
No.
I thought you.
Part of being on the ship is to not fall overboard.
Oh jeez.
Yeah. Yes, we're going to man a ship by being under it. That makes perfect sense.
I keep my comments to myself about the guy who works for a shipping company.
Oh, most sailors can dog paddle, but most
They're not
sailors
trained swimmers.
that's me. Dog paddling.
I
Only doggy
instantly
paddle
in my
I
on.
only
head,
dog paddle.
I instantly in my head
I mean, I've
become
worked on
worried
the
that
ship.
the 3-week-old angel on the boat is the only one that knows how to swim along with me.
That's because she also knows how to. Theoretically, she already knows how to fly too. So it's kind of like the same.
Yeah.
Different muscles you push off with.
So, you guys
Use
ready
your feet instead of your wings. It still works.
I put on my pirate's costume just for the sake of being on the ship.
I kind of lost him when I came down here, but she doesn't say anything. Whatever I had.
You're a level 3 character?
No, I'm only a level 2 character.
You're 2 level sorcerer and 1 level cleric, or
No.
One-on-one.
No? One-on-one?
One-on-one.
Sorry,
And
I
I
Only
show,
one.
I show up in my best
I haven't
seafarer's
gotten
costume
beyond
for our
Okay.
journey.
2
home.
levels.
So good, nobody on my own party somewhat recognizes me.
So I know
Until I
exactly-
start doing my pirate speak again, and they're like, it's just A.
Every third word is R.
it's just A.
So I know exactly what we're going to do during the boat ride.
All right.
Well, we have to tell John about this.
Which one?
Well, would you like to hear the plan? The game that we're going to play?
Sure. What's the game?
Well, we're both going to have a couple of these cudgels, just little, basically half-staffs.
Uh-huh.
And while we're doing any of our work, we'll just try and stealthily sneak up on the other and just whack one another. And the purpose is to be able to quickly react, become more alert.
I guess we're playing that game.
A bit of negative reinforcement.
It's actually training for the alert feat.
Oh, I got you.
Because it's making both parties more alert to the other one.
Gotcha.
Because part of alert is can't be surprised.
So, in other words, you're becoming Cato to his Inspector Clouseau.
Well, both of us have.
You've seen any of the Pink Panther movies?
I have,
Yes.
So yes.
Open,
Well, while we're on
open the
the
door to your house. Look around.
I wish they could put this back on again on some of the old channels. Those are fun movies.
So there we go. We'll
Okay.
be doing that
I had
whenever
Rogue One
while
on
we're
today.
manning the ship.
Let's do it. So how long is our?
Well,
Boy,
fortunately for you, it's only a few hours out there. You guys have been there before, so it's just a short jaunt across
So if we leave
along the coast. You're actually heading slightly southbound towards the Hool.
But we're gonna have to wait till nightfall.
But we're in the winter months, so if we leave at sunset, we're leaving because he's we're in Nycos. We're New Year, or is Nycos
Coming up on New Year's,
Is
yeah.
it on its head as far as the days and stuff?
As far as daylight, no. The days are almost universally the same length because of the close proximity. We don't have an elliptical pathway.
Okay.
What changes is our relationship with Helios, the bright sun, and it's coming up on double star rising, which will be when both suns are in the sky. So for a period of time, you'll be able to see both Nimbus and Helios, and then progressively over the month, the Helios will rise until the point where it's actually in opposition to Nimbus, and will pass between them, and that's called day split.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like one of the high holy days is like 15 days after the double star rising, and then 15 days later Nimbus triumphant when Helios slides back behind him. Which reminds me, if you get a chance, Bryce Campbell is actually working on a video that he's created on, I can't even tell you which software. It's one of the astronomical.
Astrogation.
It's an astronomical replicator, so he's able to create what it would look like to see Nimbus and Nycos and Helios, so you can actually see this
He even put
occurrence.
candle in the sky.
Yeah, he even put a candle in the sky. He even put NASA on the side of it. No, it says USA on the side of it.
So we.
USA, USA. Oh.
So I just start yelling every piratey thing I know
Nice.
and say, "Let's get going."
Shiver me timbers!
Avast the sails.
Avast.
Tie down a
Should we
cannon.
go
They're
to
like, we don't
Hannah's
have
Inn?
cannons.
Well, we do have, but that's different.
Let's see if she could play there or sing there.
Sing what?
She
On the ship?
sings.
Oh. Yeah. The crew does look a bit askance.
As she
Females on board are.
Could I examine that cutlass closer? The one with the dwarven writing on it?
Oh, you pull out the cutlass?
Yes. I'm gonna find out finally what that is.
Okay. Pulling out the cutlass on board the vessel. I assume after.
My armor is off.
Just take off your armor, drawing the cutlass on board the ship.
Do I know if any
In
of
the
our
open
crewmen
ocean.
are able to read Dwarvish?
I can.
Well, I said the crew.
Oh, okay.
A few of the crew would recognize Dwarvish letters if they saw them. They wouldn't necessarily be able to read the language.
Okay.
So we move straight to the ship. Okay, I didn't
As
know
you're
that.
talking,
I was
speak
going to
up.
go to Hannah's
Try to
Inn.
whack
And,
you.
Okay, so what else did you want to do? Tell me what else you want to do.
well, I
Good
went
for
to
you.
Hannah's
You're
Inn.
awesome.
You did the
sang.
clothes change, right?
Yeah, did the clothes change. Went to Hannah's Inn. Sang
I
for
just
a
keep
while
changing
to
costumes.
see if I could get any money.
Oh, sure.
Fair
You pick
enough,
up
there's
a dozen
something
coppers.
different.
It's very weirdly different every single time you move the eye patch from one side to the other.
There's just a different guy on the ship every 5 seconds trying to whack you with the stick.
Okay, so what do you know of the
I'm
cutlass
trying to
before
whack
you?
Mr. Beta
Think
15
I know it has
times.
necrotic.
You ever see the robot chicken?
Magics.
Yeah, necrotic magic.
Uh,
No, it's dwarvish,
Dorish
And-
descent, a little bit of necromancy on it.
and then it. What is it? I forgot the pirate's name. The only famous dwarven pirate.
The Dread Pirate Roberts.
I honestly don't remember.
You didn't write a note on it?
Was this
No, I
last
wrote a
week?
note about that, but that was a
Wicked
long
When,
time ago.
when did you get this cutlass?
Session 3.
Oh, okay.
At where we're going.
What,
At
at,
the haunted
the,
house.
at the haunted mansion.
Can I read it? I speak Dwarvish and read Dwarvish.
Yes.
So, and I'll just translate it for you real quick.
Oh wait.
I'll just add the
there,
name of the guy
dwarvish
on it,
boat,
that's it.
Oh, that's all
dreadnought,
I have.
water, underwater.
Well, we had somebody. who
Vigo
speaks-
Strauss. Maybe.
Nah, I don't think that
No?
was it.
Oh, that dreadnought Vigo. Maybe that's the name of his.
The
boat.
ship, maybe, or something.
Never mind. That's the one with the. That one prince who had us with the thunder wave.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not it.
It was like, no, it wasn't Fellhammer or something like that. But
Wasn't Stormfist?
I think it was Stormfist. Something Stormfist.
Like Klondike Stormfist?
What would you do for a Klondike Stormfist?
Apparently carry his knife.
Hmm?
Apparently carry his knife.
What would you do for a Klondike Stormfist? Carry his knife.
Klondike Stormfist.
What's a Klondike?
Alabama.
Is it gold? Nothing.
Interesting.
So when as you pull out, you're under a fairly baleful wind, so you just kind of floating, if you will, using the tide to your advantage at this point. The fog cover is particularly thick too, so you're having to be rather circumspect in your travel outward, making sure to keep an eye on the two lighthouses, if you will. The one on Pool Watchtower and the other to the south, to the north. And when you finally get past the breakwaters and out into the actual deep water, and turn the vessel southbound towards Haunted Mansion Bay, the watch cries out, "Sails ho!" and point to the south. So the direction you're headed, there are sails in the water, sails on the sea.
Can anyone tell if they're friendly or?
At this range,
No.
the fact that you can even see them in the fog, A, means they're really close, and B, more than likely he didn't have enough time because he's just now shouting that there's sails.
Okay.
So,
We're headed straight for each other.
well, you're headed towards them, and you're in a fog, so it's like they pass in and out of view. They call for. You guys have any range light source? That you
I
can
do.
put up there?
I've got dancing lights,
Okay,
so I can send 5 torch-sized globes out 60 feet.
cool. As what color are they?
They're drow, so Treloran, so I'm gonna go with a little bit of a purplish hue.
Nice. So the purple array of light goes out across the water, and the thing that's surprising is you're on an outbound tide, so generally the waves should be traveling the same direction you are, pulling back from the coast,
Mm-hmm.
but instead the water's chop, like there's something agitating the water surface from underneath.
We're in a fishing vessel, so we don't pose a real threat to them.
No, but something's agitated the water's under your vessel.
I'm gonna have one of the dancing light balls go down low to
Okay.
see if we can illuminate what's chopping.
Well done. As that sphere approaches the surface of the water,
Mm-hmm.
there's about 100-foot long blackness below the surface between you and the bottom.
Yeah, I think.
Does it look like it's a massive thing that's not even paying attention to us, or does it look like something keeping pace with
Oh,
us?
it seemed like at the first thought you go, oh, maybe that's just a shadow of our ship, but as it moves, the shadow doesn't. So there's a dark shape
Does it look like it's
intercepting the light from underneath.
undulating in rhythm and movement, or solid?
No, it's like a solid
definition?
solid, clearly defined object, much bigger than your vessel.
I recognize it as the submersible just by the shape and size of it.
Go ahead and make your check. Perception.
Because dancing lights is illusionary. Can I have it go under the water?
You
to
can.
illuminate? Could it?
14.
Does it possibly give enough light to help him?
As you're looking at it, you're not absolutely certain until it pierces the surface, and all of a sudden it reflects metallically, and you can see the prow and the first of the holds. And
Leather
it's-
armor going on.
Leather armor going.
Hey, if their ship's armored, then so am I.
So is it breaking to? Are we still over it as it's breaking?
Yeah.
I call for.
No, it's not breaching. It's actually traveling.
It's just keeping pace with us.
It appears that it's directly under your vessel, though, almost like it either predicted you would be coming out,
Or it's a part of it.
or it's hunting for you,
Somebody spot.
or somebody ratted.
Somebody ratted us out that we were coming here.
Oh my god, who gave the enemy information?
There's nobody in this group that would do that.
Dad.
And Dad, what, Dobros? You think Dobro would do it?
I immediately.
Why would Dad do that? It means no money for him to get rid of his only son.
I tell the crew to make.
And loses
Gotta
the
laugh
ship.
from that.
I tell the crew to make for
Lot of-
closer to the coastline, and closer to not necessarily on top of rocks, but areas where we would be able to navigate where the ship.
I love the way the non-sailor is out here shouting commands.
No,
Move the ship over there. To the right.
Because I'm just logistically.
makes perfect sense. He's trying to be piratey.
Yeah, no.
Pirates know how to steer
I'm
the
just-
ship. Everyone,
I'm just saying.
steer there.
I'm just saying strategically, we don't want this thing under us. Let's get to shallower water.
Well, I'm immediately
That
hearing
makes total
Vizzini.
sense.
Move that thing and that other thing.
Inconceivable.
Veer left.
Inconceivable. It's still following us.
We're southbound. Veer right. R.
Go to the right. What do you guys call right on this thing?
Would you like a peanut?
What do you guys call right?
All right.
I don't know.
Right would be starboard.
Starboard. Go starboard.
But there's no
Helios
stars
port.
here.
Starboard, but not on the rocks. That's what you said.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's shouting commands. The vessel ahead of you, now with the purple lights, you can see that it's a schooner.
Totally different rig.
Yes.
And it's tri-rigged, and the sails are all torn, holes in it. There's large rafts of cobwebs and such hanging from the rigging.
Oh no, oh no. Remember that guy? He was dressed in purple.
And the only crewman you see, I guess you could say it is a skeleton crew, because
Everyone's cloaked in purple.
So.
Oh,
Yo ho
I was
ho!
gonna say hi. All right, let's see.
the
I just Kurt, yo ho ho! See if
guys
anyone
look-
responds.
from the topsail you will also see the Roger.
Oh, we got Jolly Roger.
Oh, the Roger.
We have a. You guys look famished. Want some food? You guys look like skin and bones over there. Nobody laughs. Nobody laughs at my awkward joke.
Captain calls back to you and asks, should we prepare the fire?
yes.
Prepare a volley, but hold until commanded.
Okay. So this vessel, although the saddle is a fishing vessel, it does have two small catapults, one forward and one aft. On
And did he
Windlass
mention the
is-
Greek fire to us on this ship?
no,
Okay. So we don't know anything.
no, but we heard me say, "Do you want me to prepare the fire?" And he says, "Yeah, prepare to fire." But
My eyes brighten up.
Prepare to fire.
Okay.
Dancing lights spin around a little bit.
I go over to where the cannon is.
not
Catapult.
catapults.
Catapult.
Two small catapults. They're going to throw something about that big.
I'm gonna put a cantrip on it.
Okay.
True strike.
Okay.
And it
Just gives advantage on
Yep.
the next attack roll.
then she goes over to the other one, casts another cantrip.
Sure.
Cantrip. True
Cool.
strike.
And
And cast those all night long.
I take out my rope just in case I need
You have to
to.
run
Yeah,
from
we
one end of
attack.
the ship to the other, though.
Yeah.
Okay,
So it'll be literally one every other round because you have to run the full 45 feet,
yeah.
which is a
Well,
turn
first
and a half.
let's see what happens
Yeah.
before you
I just
Yeah.
take my rope
before
out.
you do the second.
Yeah, you're going. Wait a minute. There's more than one potential enemy here. The submersible, the unsinkable is beneath us, and there's looks like one of Vesper's ships. Wow.
I just take my rope out and tie one of my a dagger to the end of it,
Who goes there?
and I just put it back on my.
Why don't you tie an end of the rope to the...
Death's Watch Ho!
Never heard of ya.
You be entering our waters. What business have you with the crown of the underwater?
Fishing. In Haunted Mansion Bay.
A drunkard told us that they have good tuna.
The drunkard lies. All that is here is bones and death. You should move to deeper waters, safer there. We have no call to fire upon ye, but if you continue into the bay, I cannot account for your safety.
Is that a promise from you to harm if we enter, or just you cannot guard us?
As the captain of the Death Watch, I am charged with protecting the... What's what I want to use?
I imagine I hear him say that.
Yeah, no, just give me a second. It's not fair.
No,
I know. He says, "I am charged with protecting our frontier. Do not attempt to land on the island, or you will be attacked."
Can you show yourself? Unfortunately, I have a hard time matching a face to the voice.
Well, it's shrouded in the shadows, but as the ship passes, you can see that he's got the gratuitous captain's hat on, but he is
Skeletal.
absolutely skeletal.
Is the dinghy in the water already?
No.
Like falling behind?
No, they hang up next to the boat, ready
No,
to be
that's-
deployed
right.
in the off chance.
Yeah,
Uh,
you just swing,
if you
you
just
swing him
have-
out on a yardarm.
I pretend to trip and lower the dinghy into the water.
It would just crash.
Like
You physically it takes more than one person to swing a dinghy.
okay, so it's not like on
It's
a
not
lever
No,
like-
and-
it's 2 yard arms.
It's-
You have
Okay.
to undo the windlasses, and then you ratchet the windlasses
Because I
out.
was hoping we could actually take the dinghy into the bay.
Oh, that's probably what you can do. He's just clarifying. Do
You-
not
you
let the
cannot
vessel.
land.
Yeah. Okay.
Do not go ashore on the island.
Okay.
Basically, this is the first time somebody's enforced control on Haunted Mansion Island.
And it's the undead.
And then we tell him, we'll acquiesce to your request, buddy. We'll head back out that way. No trouble for us fishermen. R.
Are?
All right, so
Killing me, Smalls.
they pass without concern. The shadowy object below you is still, however, seeming to be on the same bearing and heading as you. Hasn't
That's us?
diverted from that course.
the unsinkable under us,
Yeah, the unsinkable is still
tailing us.
holding its position under you.
And I collect the 4 of us, and I say, do we want to try to just anchor somewhere and try to get in the dinghy and lose the submersible? Or do we want to use our ship as a distraction to get position on the submersible and see if we can board it with our breath? Go up.
If
that's
anything
true.
wrong,
If they're following the
Yeah.
ship, we can try to get on the dinghy and try to move away.
We could try and find some rocky bluffs and see if we can force them up.
Yeah.
Save the potions for an emergency.
well, their friends,
So, for clarification, passing into the bay would be entering shallower water.
We just can't go on the island.
Well, you already
They don't really want us even going in the bay.
They said you going into the bay is at your own recognizance, but that if you try to land, you will be attacked.
Okay.
But you did say, but you do know you kind of want to hit land because you want to go in and check out the shack. To do that, you've got to actually land on the
We
island.
gotta, yeah.
So we got to do like a stealth.
I didn't,
Well,
No,
we can. They are basically claiming that they are not responsible if something were to happen to us, but that's also the hint of a bit of a show of power, saying they might be the thing that attacks us if we go in. But if we go in, we also force the unsinkable to get into shallower waters, which might cause it to breach. Which
that's-
would
Or break off, either which way.
Are we at
We
the
win.
mansion
They have
that
to
we
break
were
up.
at
You're,
before,
you're,
or
you're,
we're-
you're at the bay where the
But I
mansion
don't-
is.
I don't think
okay,
we wanna
but
lose
Whole
this-
Watchtower is someplace.
Well, that's the
Hull
thing.
Watchtower. Hull Watchtower
If they're-
is
well, here's
Close
inland
by.
from
Here's
here.
the argument.
Oh, I see. Okay.
If they want, if the
Yeah.
submersible wants
Hull
us,
Watchtower is actually on
they're
the
gonna
edge of the
breach.
Hull.
If they're
The
just
bay
checking
is
us
just
out,
before
they're
the
gonna
Hull.
leave. And if they're
I
just
see.
checking us out,
So
it
you can
means
you
that
can
we
sail
might
around.
go
You
in,
could completely
to them again.
ignore Fisherman's Bay
But
if
if
you
they
wanted to go to
breach,
Hull Watchtower.
That means we know
You
they're
could land on
after
that
us.
side, therefore be away from
And
the
so it
bay,
gives
and therefore
us-
not break the rules with these guys.
It also gives us a
But that leaves you the
Cause
potential of being
to-
chased by
fight when they
the
attack.
unsinkable further. Whereas if you go into the bay here, you may lose the.
Okay.
So you kind of have to decide: is your primary prey under you,
Or on.
or is on the island?
I think our primary is on land. Cause
Okay, but I was just saying you
Yes.
can stay on course around the
Mhm.
the end of the point and come up close to the Hool where you'll be able to see because you're using Hool Watch Tower's light anyway,
Mhm.
so you can go around the horn if you will to where Hool Watch is, and then go on land there to go check out the shack, and therefore you're not breaking with what the Vesper gave as command. I mean the Death Watch gave as command. So, which way you want to do it?
let's go around the horn.
See how
Right
far
now
they
and
follow
avoid it.
us.
I don't think we can take on such a well-established,
So if we go around the horn and we go that way to go on land, are
With
we
four
still
of us.
going into shallower waters or not?
You can, but you're entering the Hool.
Yes.
That's the place where the ship could get caught.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm saying we should.
And also, that's where the unsinkable will get caught too.
That's why. That's
More
why
so.
I was saying we should move the main ship somewhere that's not super shallow, but like what he was saying, somewhere that we can either force the hand.
we're
but
not
then
on the
we
main
take
ship.
Take the dinghy, but see, she's warned you not to go in the dinghy on open ocean and to go around the horn.
Well, we're already past the break. I thought you said. Oh, I'm
Yes, you're from the break of Selk's waters.
sorry. Oh, okay.
Now you're coming up on Fisherman's Bay. There's another break before you go out around to Hull Watch.
So we're still not.
Well, you can go. Yeah, you can go into the bay
Mhm.
with the big ship if you want to, which will cut off the unsinkable.
Do you want to see if that forces them, like you were saying? That forces them to come up.
My gamble is on forcing them up, but if the
Let's go around.
rest of us believe that that is unwise, I just don't want to leave the ship in deep enough waters for them to hide under, and then as soon as we leave, they attack.
I think going into the bay is the best bet. I agree.
But then we have to deal with the skeleton.
No, we only have to deal with the skeletons if we go. If we want to.
There's a way to avoid the bay and get to the pool and the tower.
Yeah,
If we
go
wanna
around.
No, but
Yeah.
but if we also want to stealthily try to land with that, I mean, in the hopes that they're also keeping an eye on the bigger ship, we can take the dinghy. We can take a smaller party, or we can even use the breath and just swim to shore, walk to shore. If it's shallow enough, that's why I bought 2. We have 2 hours of breath. So I think his worries about the ship are.
Well, if we go around, it's still gonna have to, because it'll get stuck. Also.
Right. It more than likely it will break off before it enters the Hool because
Yeah.
it being at the bottom, it's going to be more likely to get caught up in the.
Well, the point
more
is, the
shallow.
whole idea of the Hool is not deep. It's a swamp, and all the duck has been pouring out
Right.
into a delta. You know, it hadn't built up enough time, and it will build up, and then there'll be a new Hool farther out,
Right.
like a delta.
Yeah.
But right now, that's all shallow ground. I mean, it might drop off, but not.
So are we going around to
Yeah.
the Hool, or are we going to enter
We're
the bay?
going around.
Yeah, because then it'll force the submersible to, because it's lower than us, obviously. So we're not gonna get stuck, but
but-
they will get stuck because
No,
they're
but
under
that's
us.
why I worry because
Right.
it is like a delta. It's not it's not like mapped. We know what the bay's mapped.
But you have
We
the light
have-
of the Hool Watch Tower to guide you.
Okay.
And we have a master captain here. And
Somebody
crew.
who's knowledgeable about the local sailing.
I'm with the team.
Okay. So as you pass by, how long did your lights last?
A minute, but it's a cantrip, so I can just keep popping.
Okay. So in between the one of the times that it drops and you cast it again,
Mhm.
the shadow is no longer under you. You can see it drifting behind you, like
Mhm.
it's either it's lost interest or doesn't want to go anywhere closer to the Hool than it has to.
Okay,
Got rid of it.
we will continue on.
Is it still keeping?
No,
Some
it's
base?
turned. It basically the last you
It
see
broke
of it.
off.
The last you see of it is it's facing perpendicular as if it's facing into the bay.
Okay.
It didn't actually enter, but it is turned to face into the fisherman's bay.
Don't worry, we could still get on shore from the back.
So you come around the corner, and as you come around, there's a bit of a freshening of the breeze, so you're actually having to tack a little bit because the air is still moving offshore, and the fog and such is still continuing. But now the fog has taken on somewhat of a reddish glow, which seems really kind of strange. That the actual light from the shoreline is emanating through the fog towards you. So there is a secondary light source on the shoreline already.
You say it's a blinding glow.
No,
It's a glow.
no, just it's a glow. It's just surprising to see a glow, a reddish glow coming from the shoreline.
And we're still on the ship.
Yeah.
I can send out my dancing lights a little further, but I don't know if it's going to illuminate too much because they emit no heat, so they don't burn the fog away.
Or are we is this the safest place for your ship?
Now, is it along all of the shore or just a part of
Just
the
a
shore?
just a point, just a central point, about 2 points off of the starboard bow. So
They're not very much.
no, and it's ahead. It's even further south
Or
than where you're
storm
headed.
sorcerer or something.
So-
Clear the fog.
Do we have to pass that area?
No, if you're heading for Hool Watch Tower, you're just going to continue turning inward because the primary light of the Hool Watch Tower is closer in than the red glow.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. Okay, so something we can avoid or maybe sneak up on later and find out what it is.
I think
Okay.
I say we figure. I say that's our first sign of life where there shouldn't be life. I think we should investigate that.
But it would take you farther south than you need to and take you deeper into the Hool. This is one of the dangers potentially of the Hool is that there are light sources, St. Elmo's fire / will-o-wisps and such that would intentionally draw you further in.
Swamp walk.
So do we want to just kill all our lights so
Swamp
we're
walk.
not seeing, and then just keep continuing in?
Swamp. Damn, Louisiana.
The only light you've got currently going are his
Purple lights.
purple lights, and that's been helping to guide you to this point.
It keeps us off the rocks, too.
Anchor
But
here.
you're now entering the shallows, so the water, so the since you've made around the corner, the tide is no longer dragging you out to sea. Instead, you're kind of like in this little eddy, so that the water is slowly turning in this area. So it's a relatively safe place to anchor. More than likely, it also suggests it might be a deeper spot than most. His lights indicate there must be at least a good 10 feet or 20 feet below your keel.
I want us to stay out enough to where we don't run aground, even
Right.
if low
Yeah.
tide happens. We really don't want to get stuck.
Right.
So anchor.
Because the other part is if you run aground, it can break the keel.
Yeah. Okay. So you're dropping anchor. The water is calm enough to lower the dinghy or to swim, whichever you prefer. Swim would be a considerable distance though, because it is a bog. So
So since we have
Let's take the dinghy.
yeah, since two people can't swim, we will put the dinghy.
okay.
Oh no! You know what I expect? I expect 2 people to get in the dinghy and then 2 people who could swim to drag it.
No, we gotta get in the dinghy.
Okay. So you're rowing for shore, and in the
Hey, Mr.
looming
Pirate, why don't you
darkness.
sing us a shanty?
I don't know.
And it's getting darker since his lights go out. So
What I'm trying to remember one from like one of the Pirates games I played.
nice.
Row, row, row. No, that's not a shanty.
Whiskey Johnny, I think I remember that one. Whiskey is the life of man. Whiskey Johnny. I drink whiskey when I can.
Of course, the drunken monk.
Whiskey for my Johnny.
Nice. All right. So the as you yeah, that's really encouraging. That's all I know.
Hey, I asked for that AA chip a while ago.
As you're pulling up to the shoreline, you can see the at first the stark silhouette, and then a little bit later the increasing details in the just very dim light of. I guess it's really not even any real ambient light at night on Nycos. I never thought about that much because there's no
Dancing.
exactly. Boom.
If we need light, I can see in the dark, but I'm assuming that we've got 2 or 3 who
Right.
can't.
So when you kick the day, when you're rowing along in darkness, but you see the silhouette, and you put on the lights. It's rather garish the way it stands out. It's like an inn on stilts in the water, in the boggy water.
I think Selk had a bar like this.
Yeah, I'm gonna say you'd think along the lines of Pirates of the Caribbean when you're first going in. There's those houses up on the stilts or whatever.
Like almost like a New
And
Orleans.
there's a sign hanging, and it's broken and hanging off to the side. And sure enough, there is a body, dismembered, arms and legs laying around. And sure enough, the lower right leg has been dragged away from the rest in the image. But what's kind of scary is that the thing that is dragging it looks like insect mandibles.
So we just come up to a house on stilts and we see
The
Something,
sign he was.
something is dragging it already, or it's.
That one, no,
Something's
again,
in
it's just a sign. It's just a sign.
Oh,
just a painting.
oh,
I
the
see.
sign is
okay.
that.
The sign is this dismembered body because
Okay.
you were told that
Yeah.
was the sign of this
That was
shack.
the pulling your leg portion.
That was the pulling your leg portion.
Okay.
Essentially just the paint.
I thought you were saying we were coming up and we see
And
body parts
that's
on the
what I thought,
ground.
too.
and-
Yeah,
was
no,
like-
I was right. No, this is just
Okay, yeah.
just like the painting you were promised. But you find it surprising that means that the guy wasn't lying.
I see.
Do I recognize the insect mandibles?
Well, it's
Yes,
better
they look
picture.
they look like a pretty
Insect.
close facsimile to what you saw.
Okay.
A crab?
Crap.
Yeah.
Is there any writing on this sign, or is it just a painting?
Just a depiction.
Yeah,
Just
and the bottom of it says tax the tax revolt. That's the name of this.
Tax
A tax revolt?
and common.
Yeah, if you think about it, it's less expensive than the taxes because you only have to pay a leg, not an arm and a leg.
It's half off. Well, actually, it depends if you value your leg more than your arm or not.
Yes.
Does any I investigate just to see if there's any sign of like other life, or is it?
No,
Is
the
there?
place is dark. The door, the building inside is completely dark. The typical bar doors, the swinging bar doors. One of them is broken and hanging loose. The shutters are broken. Glass is missing from the window. Parts of the curtains drift with the evening's rather damp breeze.
So would you say like geographically
Is
we're
this-
somewhere like that? The trees.
Oh, I was gonna say it's probably similar. Is this out in the water or is this on land?
Well, this is a bog, so it's literally rising up out of the bog.
Okay. Is there a ladder or?
Yeah, there's a you
I
could,
wasn't sure if maybe
there's also a tie-off point, so it looks like you this was probably, like you said, a coastline bar at one point in the past.
How big is this, quote unquote, tavern?
The
It's a
shack
shack?
itself is maybe 30 by 20.
Is there a tie or something for dinghies or other?
Yeah, at the bottom of the ladder.
I take my
Do we want to check this out before we head inward and make sure there's nothing, or see if there's any signs?
From what he
of
described
life?
to you, is there
Yeah.
anything else we should know about this place?
This is where the
Nope.
this is
that
where this is
we'll
where the
find,
quote evidence is.
Yeah,
Proof.
we'll find the proof if these sea devils are real or not. Which I hope they are real.
I hope I'm right because that's less
Didn't you
scary.
say that you have some awareness on things around you? If
Yeah, but someone here interferes with that.
Yeah, we have an angel with us.
Yeah, you have an other, and that messes with him.
Yes, but
So-
don't
Well,
for meta?
Yeah,
Don't you still like pick up on fiends and stuff?
he could. Yeah,
but the
You
Yeah,
just don't
but-
get the numbers and you don't
Yeah,
get the locations, but
so-
it would tell you if they're in the area.
And since he's been around her so long, wouldn't he know
Do
her
I-
energy?
you can simply turn. You can
Oh,
turn her
okay.
face away from her. You can just have.
you can
okay.
just
You go to the
Just-
back of
I
the
got
boat.
it like you're
Right.
Okay.
you could cone it out.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to
Alright.
give you a
No.
reason to be able to use that.
No,
skill.
no. It's just, I was thinking about using that, but because of her, I don't want to get it.
Don't. Yeah.
confused.
Don't. No. If it
It
came to a
doesn't
situation
lead-
like that, I would
Mm.
give you a total number and say including.
I got you.
You see what I'm
Okay.
saying?
So yeah, I'll go ahead and do
Please be
primeval,
one. Please be
primeval
one.
awareness.
I'm like, please be one.
Aberrations,
Six, yeah.
fiends,
Please be one.
celestials, undead, dragons.
Especially this coastline, so it goes out 6 miles.
Oh, you took
Oh.
coastline as your favorite terrain?
I changed it.
Nice.
Makes more sense.
Yeah.
So he's got 6 miles of that.
Oh God. Well, first of all, you're still picking up the ship then.
The undead.
Okay.
The
And-
Death Watch.
Well,
Face the shack.
no, yeah, facing towards the coastline.
Facing towards the coastline.
Yeah, so I'm
Well,
Okay.
just
behind
getting
me.
this.
First
far.
of all-
Yeah.
First of all, the hool is crawling with necrotic creatures.
So undead.
So undead.
So undead things creep about and move a lot. So there's
creep about.
Hey, they tell no tales.
it's only the dead men. Dead women talk incessantly.
That's mean. That's mean.
It's awareness region around here for 1 minute. Aberration celestials. Okay. So undead.
Furthermore, there is an even darker presence inside of the shack.
Inside, I'm just gonna call it the watch.
The
Darker
The revolt.
presence in which form?
Huh?
Do I get a sense of which? Is it
No,
Fae?
No.
No.
like fiend or
Yeah.
Yes, you would definitely pick up that it's fiendish.
Fiend.
Can you send one of your
Oh,
light
and
orbs
there's a
in?
huge block of fiend at your hip.
swish swish clang clang.
Yeah. Okay. I'm like,
What? It's just your sword that you've had this whole time that you won't let anyone else touch.
no, it's better in my care.
That you won't let anyone touch.
So I tie us up. I tie us up to the
You
thing.
tie you up?
Yeah.
We.
Damn it!
Say-
How can we go on the island when you do this? I don't know. It was a great idea at the time.
I take my chance.
I use
So I pretty much-
drunken redirect my dodge and you smack yourself in the face.
Oh, don't you remember
That's
the
it.
alert
I
Right,
know,
that's
but
what he's just gonna say. He's gonna duck and make you smack yourself in
because
the
I have
knee.
the drunken mastery, I can mid dodge attacks and you hit yourself or another person in our party. I forget what it's called.
So I sense
thing? I don't think it's you can
the
make
cutlass, the undead towards the tower.
The numberless.
Numberless undead. Yeah, because I can't.
No,
don't
no,
know.
that's
You
off to
can't
the
get-
left because
You
that's
can't
the,
get
in the waters.
numbers, but you
Yeah,
can
I know.
you can tell if they're
Numberless. There's a
within the
lot.
ball.
I read a lot, and then
Xanthars?
A fiend.
fiend in the shack.
Yeah.
A fiend
Fiend
in the ship.
in the shack. Another.
I have
Could
some
be enough.
oil and we can start a fire and burn it out.
That is a good idea.
You guys want to just burn the shack?
Whatever evidence would be destroyed.
Yeah, I mean, like,
Oh,
you only sense one powerful fiend coming from this place.
Well, that powerful is a relative term.
Okay, you
Just-
sense one.
It's dark.
Very
It's a darker. I just said
dark.
it was darker
Dark-
than the.
Darker fiend. Dark fiend.
I use a
Yeah,
little.
anyway.
I use a little persuasion. I'm like, you telling me you don't want to fight this thing face to face? You just want to burn it out?
Fight evil with evil.
It's the easiest thing to do.
that should be destroyed.
Yeah. Now he's talking like John Carpenter's Vampire. If you haven't seen that movie, put that on your list. John Carpenter's Vampire has the
It's
best,
level 6 skill.
Level 6.
most pragmatic vampire hunter ever.
And
He's
then
like,
it's when
I don't care.
when the one attacking you
light him on
wins.
fire, drag him into the sun.
Spend a key point
It all
to get
works.
I'm trying to remember.
That's one reason.
Is that the with the motel?
Yes,
Yeah,
American
okay.
Southwest.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
it's got that whole team of folks.
I just for the sake of not losing evidence, I jump into the shack just so they can't burn it down.
Well, you have to climb the ladder first.
Yeah.
You're
Well,
just now
I'm
tied
warning
off.
you guys. But it would be easier if we do burn it down. But
I go over to one of the crew and ask them if
Crew, you left the crew line behind. You're on the
Oh,
dinghy.
right,
It's just
right,
us.
That's right, we're on the dinghy.
so
Never mind.
we'll tie up, and then we'll just go up.
And I
Crossbow.
can investigate, and if I need to, I'll jump out. And then you guys can light this sucker. Let's go, guys.
So is there anything around? Not my sense, but when we climb up in the shack.
Okay, so from here you can see the Hull Watch, the actual tower itself. Its stone edifice is a circular tower about 40 feet in the air, built prior to the end of the Solani rule. So it's the older Solani architecture. It's got a castellated exterior around the top of the tower. The flames come from 6 separate fire pots. The way they operate is they keep all 6 burning and change them out hourly, so there's no real loss of light over the period of the night. Beside the base of the tower is a rather monstrous pile of wood that is basically donated by all the different factions in the area who support the use of the Hull Watch Tower, and it's garrisoned by some of the Red Veil soldiery at this point. So it's about a 20-man detachment that's responsible for keeping the light lit.
Okay.
And so as you're climbing up onto the wood, go ahead and make your dex save. You break one of the steps. Your foot goes into the water.
That's actually a 7. No discount.
Okay, but when your foot hits the water, there's a concurrent splash farther along the coast, along the, if you will, the sort of coastline, like something jumped off of a log or fell into the water someplace further up the stream.
We're gonna need a bigger boat.
Because it made a noise.
So, you finish climbing the rest of the way up onto the structure, and you realize it's not very stable at all. The entire thing kind of sways under your weight. the one the one bar door that was hanging off falls the rest away and basically crumbles to pieces in the archway. You see a glint of light, almost like a reflection inside of the building.
What works for you?
I can see in the dark, so
Hmm.
I'm high half health, so
Okay.
I have dark vision.
He's day in.
Just making sure.
Yeah.
Because that also tells you what range your dark vision works at.
60 feet, I think.
Okay. So there's like I said, a bit of reflection from inside the building, but you didn't make out actually a shape. It does appear, even from here, that there might still be some chairs and tables exigent inside of the place. So, although it looks run down, it looks like it hasn't been completely without use.
I start making my way toward the light.
Okay, so you're
I'm
hitting.
gonna climb up to go meet him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I figure everybody's climbing as quickly as they can. I just was
Wait,
giving
hold
him
up,
his
hold
intro.
up.
I'm not walking fast. I'm because of the state of it. I'm just going.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and see where that splash came from. Can I locate? Or
Sure.
So you-
Go ahead and make a perception check.
20, not natural. No.
Yeah, you
not a
see
natural 20.
a from that splash mark, you can see the ripples in the relatively calm waters, and looks like about a 10 to 12 foot log is drifting towards you.
Well, that's not a log. It's Nessie.
Okay. So I'm gonna keep my eye on that log. Well, I climbed up
And looking
I-
back.
Yeah, at the log.
I'd like to
just,
climb up, look back, scratch my butt, and whittle at the same time.
Gotcha. Anyway, so you just noticed that while he was climbing. So
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, take a little offense with that.
Yeah, you gotta do
the players who I want to do everything at the exact same time.
Yes. So, as you climb up, you notice that several of the steps have been replaced recently. Your knowledge of rope craft and stuff indicates that they've retied some of the lashings and stuff and made this more stable than it should be.
Some of the nails have been replaced.
So even the fact that he broke off a step seems like it may have been contrived as an intent to notify or alert somebody within.
Somebody's purposely making false planks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Odd. Do I notice, you said it looks like it's been somewhat reinforced. Do I notice that the interior is, like, the scaffolding, if it's...
Go ahead and make a perception check.
Okay. 10.
10. Doesn't seem to be, but it's that moment of Disney where how much of it's real versus how much of it's fake is kind of blurred the line with your nice ambiguous die roll. It's like, maybe that did get worked on, but I can't really tell.
This could have been worked on.
Yeah.
Alright, then I guess I'm just going up the rest of the way.
While you're down in the boat, somewhere off in the distance, you can hear a few frogs croaking, but you also hear what you could have swore was a woman's voice called Tiara.
Well, that's wrong.
Nothing scary about that.
Tiara, come home.
Did you hear that? You're still in the boat with me, right?
No, he's up on. He's the only one. He's at the base of the ladder
Did
about
you
to
hear
climb up.
anything?
I'm walking deeper into the shack.
Okay, somebody just called my
Don't go. That's
But
how
that
they get
log,
you. That's how they
He's
knock
pointing
you
at the
out
log.
when you're not realizing it.
name.
there's something going on with that piece of log.
Okay.
There's something going on.
I know.
That piece of
not
wood
right.
floating around in the water
Not
where there's a
right.
lot of trees is
Wood
really
does not float
suspicious.
naturally like that.
It's a very suspicious.
Maybe it's a witch.
Especially against the tide.
Is it?
Do you
it
tell us-
doesn't
do
sing.
you-
Does it float
do
like
you-
a duck?
Do you tell us that you hear somebody calling your name, or does she just say did you hear that?
Well,
No, she's
I'm
just
not
saying
gonna
it to
yell
him.
out.
Oh,
Mm.
I'm
Yeah, you're not going to shout it because you're
No, no,
upstairs.
no, no.
We're not in this right now.
We're not.
Everybody's spread out in a nice thin line
We
here.
split the party again.
No, not really. You're close. You're close, but you'd have to call out
Yeah. If
over
one
the
of
distance.
us, if we needed to, we could jump down from here
Okay.
onto the dinghy.
She ignores you. Because whatever it is, it isn't anything important to her.
Okay, so do you stop at the door and wait for everybody, or are you charging right on into?
I'm dumb.
No,
My
I'm
char-
stupid.
My character is.
Did I?
My character is.
I hope
stupid.
you all heard that.
Like real life,
I hope you all heard
Real
that.
life, I'm Shaggy. This character is headstrong and foolish. He's
Nice.
walking in front
Nice. So just as you get up onto the landing with him, he disappears inside the door.
Dancing lights.
Okay.
Making 5 little torchlights that circle around me.
Okay. So, yay! Brilliant light. See, several things happened at once. Let's see here. First of all, with that light, you see the rather squid-like creature lounging, if you will, in the chair across the room from you. It's only vaguely quadrupedal because each of its arms ends in 2 or 3 tentacles. Its main torso then separates into 2 or 3 more for where the legs should be. And its face has this sadness to it with these huge, unblinking eyes to the left and the right side.
Watery kind of slush.
Yes. And a meerschaum pipe hanging out of the corner of its...
Between the little
between 2
tentacles.
tentacles of its face. That's what you see. From your vantage point up above, looking down at the water, you don't see just one log. You see about a half dozen crocodile moving in this direction. From your vantage point, that log is clearly
A log.
a big bull crocodile, and with several more glinting eyes rising up out of the water behind it.
Rising up. Back
And-
on the creek.
With this light, there is a reflection of something greenish farther up the coastline, more inland from where you are. It's basically perpendicular to where the Hool is.
Okay,
The Hool Watchtower is.
okay.
So it's in the darkness.
She points it out to you, and then
Yeah, he's busy pointing at the Crocs.
Yeah.
We're just
Get
pointing
up.
at something
Yeah.
I just tell you to
Exactly.
get up.
You,
climbing.
Did he by any chance say how big the log was compared to the dinghy?
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
No.
It's about a third longer.
Longer?
I go up. He tells me,
Yeah,
go
it's,
up.
it's a 24-foot crocodile.
Yeah. So tell her to go up. So I completely identify.
You can
Okay.
clearly see it because
I'm
the
gonna-
purple light.
I'm gonna go ahead and shoot my light crossbow at it.
Okay. Roll to hit.
Don't be a hero!
7.
With modifiers, is a 7.
Mhm.
Sploosh!
And more.
Okay. When that happens, you
Mhm.
see it react because they're instinctive creatures. So the splash next to it causes it to turn, and you see it basically can almost do a 180 in a flash. There's a frothing of the water where it was,
They are very natural swimmers.
I plan to do that.
and
So
when
you said I wanted
when
to
that froth
slash.
occurs,
Mm.
all of them dive, so you lose them in the murk.
Okay.
So is everybody climbing now?
Yeah.
He's still on the dinghy.
yeah, I'm still on the
until she's
dinghy.
done.
You're still climbing.
She's now finishing the climb. You are completely inside the building with Mr. Happy. You're approaching the archway.
Well, I was
Looking at the-
illuminating, and I managed to see the Crocs and all
Right.
that. I'm gonna throw one of the lights down
Okay,
to right above the water where they were.
right. And what you just see is the churn of the muck because they're swimming in shallow enough water that it just obscures. So it creates the kind of this eerie purplish glow underneath the water surface.
By any slim chance, do they get interested in the light?
You haven't seen any response to that part.
Not yet.
Yeah, right.
All right, that's fine. Hey,
Uh,
maybe it's like regular fishing. Sometimes they like the light sources and they go for it. We're
Mm-hmm.
gonna see if Crocs and fish share a mind.
seeing as how
Looking at the potion of water breathing, maybe we need a potion of crocodile breath.
do I do just an insight? Does this thing look like it's ready to fight me, or it hasn't dropped its?
It's
time?
lounging.
Okay, I
It's
And
draped
it's a-
over the chair.
It's an eldritch horror. We don't understand them.
it's draped over the chair.
Yes, it literally looks like it's draped over the chair. It looks. I said it looks vaguely quadrupedal only because of where it's sitting.
Well, what's the one video where it's supposed to be like the dancer? He drapes himself over the chair, pulls the thing, and the water splashes down on
Flash
him.
dance.
Mm-hmm.
I'm imagining similar
I pull out
body motion.
my bow staff and I poke it. To see.
Well, he's more than 10 feet away, so you'd have to approach him.
I shout out. I say,
You shout.
What do you shout?
What is it you're shouting?
What do you say to the Squid Man?
I come in peace.
Well, they don't.
Oh no, hold on.
Oh, first of all,
Yeah,
since you now are acknowledging that it's there, make a wisdom save.
Is this versus?
No, I'm sorry, charisma save.
Okay.
So 9 plus 14.
Nice. You're able to hold down your stomach. This is an abomination. This is something that makes no sense to you. I mean,
The context is we've never seen an octopus or a squid in our entire lives.
Okay.
So it's basically seeing one of those all of a sudden.
Through my shock, but having, I just try to talk to it to see if they get me.
so you say we come in peace?
We come in peace.
With a quarterstaff.
I put the quarterstaff back behind my back.
You hear you're an audible exhale, and the pipe creates this monstrous bubble. When it pops, the voice says, "Do you come in pieces?"
No, but like peace, like we don't want to fight.
I see the signs. You should come in pieces. You now hear this deep, thick voice from inside the building.
Yeah,
It
the
sounds
pop-
like the syllables sound like they're having to force themselves past the mounds of flesh that this thing is. It's
Mhm.
like meat. Like hearing meat talk.
What's your name?
I have many. Which you want?
One that I can say in the common tongue.
Perhaps Bob will work.
That's great.
Bob.
Bob? Am I saying that right?
Bob.
Bob. Okay, got you. 2 B's in the front,
Bob.
2 B's in the back.
Another pop of the bubbles in his pipe. And now you realize the pipe is actually frothing, so it's one big bubble and then others.
Little ones along.
It's like he's blowing bubbles in his own spittle.
And I try to say it. More of my comrades are about to come in. We do not wish to engage. And I turn and shout it please don't come in. Crossbows blazing.
Well, you're
just
turning
waiting.
your face to face with him because I've been walking towards you.
And then he's
Just people light.
let's figure out where we're at first before stuff pops off here.
What do you mean where we're at? We're inside the
Did you not
tax
see-
reclaim. Oh my goodness! What's that?
And your one light, when one glowing light floats in past, and the thing's eyes glisten, but they don't.
Dilate.
Well, no, they actually do dilate.
I don't know.
They do dilate, but they dilate almost under his control. It's they
Like he's adjusting
pinpoint.
his.
Right.
Even though the light is purple, can we tell if he's what color is he?
In the purplish light, he's kind of a deep reddish purple, but with the light's movement, his skin scintillates. And so at some points he shifts to be almost the color of the furniture.
Oh goody, he has camouflage. That's some breeds of octopus. Do you wish to
His name is
explain?
Bob, by the way. Bob.
You've named him already?
No, he told me his name.
Okay, so you're both standing there. You've made it to the top of the stairs. The frothing, the alligators, the crocs do jump at the light. A few of them do snap at the light, and so there's the frothing of the water in that area is
They're
increased.
climbing over each other trying to get to it.
Yeah, and there are a lot of them.
Even if they grab it, it's illusion, so
Right,
they just go through
just
it.
to snap at it, right?
I'm climbing up.
Yes,
But you can see that.
Yeah.
and then you
okay.
hear him shout, "No crossbows blazing!" The two of them are stopping
that might be
stopped
code.
in the door
Maybe
frame.
you should.
I could.
Don't.
So the two of them are standing in the doorway of the place. You do notice the. I'll go ahead and make a wisdom save, or not wisdom, a wisdom check, a perception check. I mean.
Perception. 21.
Yeah. So with your same sailorish knowledge that he has, you can see that the place has been intentionally shored up, but made to look less solid than it is. Make a second check like he did, though, to see if you can check out the superstructure.
18.
Much
Yeah,
better.
yeah. So, yeah, it's not only has it been reinforced, but you can see that there are two places in the flooring to the left and the right end of the bar inside that are intentionally weak, that drop down into what look like deadfalls, one of which is got probably a dozen ship's anchors, all with their jagged points facing upward.
Where is this?
At the left and right end of the bars inside. So
Left.
if you go into the
If you misstep, you're gonna fall through the floor and get impaled.
right,
It's a trap.
it's
So I'm looking inside already.
right. Well, no,
Or
you're,
I
no,
could
you're looking
kinda
at
see it.
You're on
You
the
can see it as
other
you're
side,
climbing
you can see
up.
it
Yeah,
from below.
okay.
It's
I
a lot
see.
easier to see something like that
Yeah,
from below than
okay.
it is the top because the light's probably filtering
Mhm.
through.
Okay.
And you hear Kern screaming, "What the hell is that on the inside?"
Just to check Bob's.
Baba Nagas.
I say some words to him in Elvish just to see if I merit a response from him. I say.
He says a bunch of. What did you say?
I say what lovely skin you have, Bob. In Elvish.
Oh goodness, he's flirting.
When you say that, he actually shimmers into almost in this light a bright pink color,
Okay, so he understands.
and his response is, "The flesh is but a emblem of all that can be known. Te Uname, child of the Jarl."
Okay, damn.
Okay.
Okay, so this guy knows my background. That's amazing.
Child of the what was the last word?
Yarlim.
Yar-
Do you speak Elvish?
I do.
Okay, then you understood it. Although you don't know what a Yarlim is.
But it was in Elvish.
What do
Yes.
you know of Yarlum? I just switch back to the common just for the sake of it.
Okay, so you switch back to common to say that. When you switch back to common, he says, "Such things should be spoken only in the richest of voices. How rich are you?"
I'm 13 gold.
I start speaking.
Now you realize he's, yeah. You can now hear this deep, thick voice, but when you hear it, you recognize a fiendish accent.
You can hear the little dastardly mustache in the voice.
No, it's just that
Yeah,
when creatures have come from there, certain words carry overtones that almost send another message. So go ahead and make a wisdom save.
Ooh, excuse me.
Saving throw, right?
Yeah.
6.
You can't understand a rat. Never mind.
Well, is it? Oh, okay. Yeah, the undertones.
Yes,
Okay,
I was trying to see whether
Yeah.
you could.
Okay.
If you'd have made the save, you'd have been able to understand what it is that he's actually trying to say.
Too bad that's nothing like thieves can't.
But only thieves can. I never understood that.
Well, no, it's
Ah.
because the rogue specific thing of thieves can't, the double speaking.
Double entendre, yeah.
Yeah, is
I know nobody's gonna understand, but I switch to Yarlum and ask him what he's doing here.
So now you're going to speak in the Yarlum tongue. First time these guys have heard it, all of you make all of you make a wisdom check.
This is not Elvish, right?
This is not
no,
Elvish.
he's literally speaking bug. Is this versus?
Which means that audibly it's a bunch of clicks and hisses and.
Sorry.
I only need to ask: is this frightened or charmed or anything, or is it just?
It's right.
Okay. Okay.
Wisdom saving throw, correct?
Yes.
So 3.
Okay.
15.
Your own party
Right.
member now terrifies you. He's speaking in a language that's even more ancient and more dangerous than fiendish. It's reminiscent of an evil older than the devil. Literally more than 127 years old.
The super devil.
That came from Tay.
And I obviously
Devil.
understood his voice.
You heard it was his voice, but the clicking sounds that
Yeah,
come out of
that's-
him are not.
It's hard to do a voice with.
So what did
clicking.
you say?
What are you doing here? What do you know of the Yarlum?
He chuckles. He says, "I know that your enemies are closer than you know, and your friends are more dangerous than you can imagine."
Oh, that really sucks. You can't get any closer. That's the effect of frightened. You can't willingly move closer to the
that's
target
true.
you're
So I'm
afraid of. You're literally frozen on the ladder.
No, because I got up on top. He can get up on the.
No,
I
you were
can't
already
get-
on top.
Yeah, I can't get
He
closer
cannot
to
willingly
the,
move
yeah,
closer
that's
because he
true.
failed the frightened check.
I better do the friend thing.
So he needs to shore up his resolve and get through in order to climb.
Here, let's just do this.
I'm frightened.
For 3 turns after you stop speaking.
Um,
Congratulations, you have a way to slow him.
scare the crap out of people just by speaking a language.
You have no
well-
idea.
Yeah.
You have
I
no
don't.
idea.
I really don't. What And I
It
just
is still in Yarlum.
and I just flash because I don't know what's happening. I
Right.
can't see him.
Right.
So, I have the flashback to when I went for the crystal.
Mm-hmm.
I say, "Do you know what the Yarlum did to us or to me?"
You are joined in ways that you won't understand until they flay your flesh from your bones.
What is it saying? What are you saying?
Yeah, he's standing right behind you going, "What's going on? What are you talking about? What are you saying? What is that language?
Why are you afraid?
Why is the hunter stuck on the ladder?"
Why do I hear the sound of urine falling? I'm kidding.
What are you doing here? What are you doing in the revolt? What connection do you have to these what was the name of the pro
So you stop talking and turn and speak to them.
No, I'm just trying to think of the name real quick.
The Temple of Procon?
No, the
What are you referring to?
the mafia thing.
Oh, the Mafia place?
Mm,
The Vendetta people?
no,
Or
I'm fine. What are you? Yeah, what are you doing here, and what's your why? What are you? Do you have any affiliation with the Soprazzo?
Soprano are echoes and shadows. Shadows, echoes, and theater.
excuse me.
Do I when you say theater, I look at the party. Can I notice that he's frozen on the ladder?
You can't
They've been-
see
I'm right
him.
here.
You can't see him; he's on the ladder. But he's telling you. He says, "Why is the hunter?"
I come back to.
Why is the hunter not coming up?
What do you mean? What's wrong with the hunter?
I don't know what's wrong. That's why I'm asking.
Go ask him.
Tiara, why is
Okay,
he just
keep going.
standing there?
She goes back to the ladder.
Look down. He's just frozen on it. Literally, his hands are gripping it, white knuckled.
We can see his nails are just digging into the wood bit.
She will. Can
Oh my
she
god,
reach
he's afraid
him?
of heights.
Yeah, you can reach him.
Yeah, she reaches and puts her hand on you.
Get advantage on the save,
There.
Another wisdom save, correct?
but you get advantage on it.
So you roll twice, take the highest of the two. It's pretty
There you
good.
go.
Get
You're
7
good.
again.
17.
She shakes you out of it. And when she shakes you out of it,
Mm-hmm.
it's so reassuring. There's actually another human being that the voice. One of the big challenges of the Yarlum language is that its effect is kind of like the psychic charm. I don't know if you know about that, but insects actually charm birds to keep birds from eating them. When a bird gets close enough, a cicada will start its whirring sound, and that whirring sound scares the bird because it thinks it's a snake. So the bird won't attack the insect, even though it sees the insect,
Because it doesn't know what it is.
because it doesn't. It's not certain that what it is actually what it sees.
In my head, I reminisce of when I heard hundreds and thousands of Yarlum chanting at the same time.
Right.
What was the matter?
That's creepy.
Yeah. Exactly. So
hate
when she all of a sudden
cicadas.
touches you, it's like you're completely
Yeah.
out of it.
He's fine.
He's fine. I turn to the I look to Bob.
Bob.
Bob. And I say, these are my
Now you're still speaking
Common.
in. Okay, so we're done speaking that. Are you finishing at this moment?
Are you
Speaking.
going to common now, or are you going to be Yarlum still?
no. I'll do one more question in Yarlum. Well, he seems to be.
Of course, you've seen the number
I
countdown.
want to see what
You-
happens. I wanna see
Okay,
what
we have
happens.
found our button presser in this group.
wanna
We always
see what
wondered who it was.
I
We
wanna-
now know who the
I wanna
button
see
presser
what happens
is.
when we
Here,
get-
press the button.
I want to see what happens
Press the
after
button
what.
and pale it on you.
Hey man, I want to see what happens after what. And I ask him, so is this the theater of the Soprazzo? Is it a theater of men, or is it a theater of a coalition of different beings?
But you say this in
Yarlum.
Yarlum. As you're speaking, make a Constitution save.
So, How do saves work again? I just
roll a d20, and you're a monk, so you don't have proficiency, so you only add your Constitution modifier.
Okay. Got it. 6.
Plus your con mod.
6. It's 6 total.
Okay, so that's probably fail.
In the middle of your speech, because you're speaking in a language that actually requires different mandibular structure than you actually have, you feel a tearing of the flesh in your lower lip. And so now you've got a bloody scar forming on your lower chin.
You're getting a split jaw.
Nice.
You felt as you were trying to make the sound, it started to tear.
Your lisp is correcting itself.
Okay.
As that happens, you hear in your own head the Yarlum voice of your speech echo inside of you. I don't know how else to describe that. It's kind of like you ever been talking and put your hand against your ear and all of a sudden you hear yourself?
Yeah.
There's a second voice in there with you.
Okay.
And he chuckles a bit, and then back to you in Yarlum, he says, "The conflict is not with Soprazzo, nor with men. The threat lies within you." And he kind of chuckles.
To save the world, we must kill you.
Yeah, I share. Now I switch back to common.
Okay.
And I look back at the group and I tell them. I share with them everything up
And
until.
you hear bleeding?
So you guys finally all catch up just outside the door. The frothing down below is subsiding somewhat as they were getting disheartened with the fact that they're jumping at the light and not getting anything out of it.
And I tell them everything about the theater of the Soprazzo, who, like what Bob told me, up to the point where the evil lies within me. I don't mention that.
While you're talking, you hear kind of a sluggish, slithering sound behind you, because you had to turn your back on Bob to have this conversation.
Because I'm looking at him, can I see what's going on?
Yeah, as you're watching, Bob's no longer staying in the chair. You see him kind of slumping out of the chair and onto the floor.
Slinking out.
He's just slumping onto the floor.
He's got tentacles. Watch the tentacles.
You're watching as he's watching over your shoulder. Go ahead and make a con save, because you've never seen an octopus move. So I don't know if you've ever actually seen one. They are just
I
downright.
caught one.
Yeah, I've seen how they move.
I love that one video where they show one of them going through that crack in the side of the boat. That's so creepy when it pushes through its eye and the eye gets really big and then it's like, ugh.
Because most of their body's elastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I made it.
Okay.
I caught when we had in college. We had a sea squirt.
Mm-hmm.
I caught the largest sea squirt, which is a animal that is like a plant. It attaches itself. It's rooted. Mine was that big. The other one was that big. They just fought. And then I caught the octopus.
Nice.
Little tiny thing we caught in a tide pool.
From playing
Craziest thing I ever caught when fishing was I went deep sea fishing and hooked a spider crab off the bottom.
The stick game with him.
So I bring up this
I turn around and
big
look at Bob
spider
and say, "Where are
crab,
you
just
going?"
and it's hooked
Just in
underneath
common.
one of the legs. Didn't even eat the hook.
They're good eating.
He says,
We threw it back.
I've shared enough with you. It's time to share with your friends. And he's slinking along the bar length.
Did you
Do
mention?
you work here?
I'm not in there yet.
Yeah, we're on. He said-
Oh, I am.
You're at the doorway.
Instantly, I shoot my crossbow at it.
He goes, oh shit!
I was like, one thing. I said one thing.
Yeah, but you should have said, "Don't shoot the weird thing in here," not "Don't come in."
I've never. Well, I don't know if I've ever seen this thing. I've never seen
No.
this thing. Yeah,
Jeez.
and then
This is an eldritch horror
Yeah.
to us.
and it's a fiend. All I
Oh.
know because I sensed it in here.
Right.
My
I got,
instinct is to, and then that crazy clicking.
Language?
inside- yeah.
It must have come from
I
him.
used
I'm
deflect
agitated.
missile.
It's when it's attacking you. Damn it.
Yeah.
I was hoping I could just
So,
like.
yeah.
No.
So
I'm
unless you
definitely
want to try and
shooting
use a
it.
reaction to redirect it at you.
22.
Oh, you nail it. But what's really funny is when the arrow hits, the flesh moves away from it and then drifts away around it.
Kind of like an ooze or something like.
Yeah, it doesn't do
Okay.
any damage. It's just
It kind of just
And I'm like, dude, let's not shoot stuff. Let's.
I think he
Anything
works
else?
here.
Shoot it.
Bob.
I just
When you
think-
say that, do you work here? Bob laughs. Okay, and Bob laughing is kind of like no, it's kind of like it's like somebody blowing bubbles through pudding.
Blah 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 blah.
Well, we know where he got the name Bob.
From his laugh.
As he drifts as he's oozing across the floor, the main portion of his head, which is kind of weird because it's like rolling the pipe across the surface, so the pipe is actually no longer in his mouth, so to speak, but it's floating on top of the surface, kind of like half sunk in. As it's moving across, the voice says, "Come in, Hunter. I have a gift for you, and for the Sunborn as well."
Yeah, no. I'm gonna go ahead and use the Monster Slayer Hunter Sense,
Okay.
which is you immediately learn whether the creature has any damage, immunities, resistance, or vulnerabilities.
Oh, you have to take a minute to do that though.
He's studying it as he's
Third
watching it
ability
crawl
to
across the
return
ground.
Musically, Bister as an action. Choose one. 60 feet. Doesn't say anything about a minute.
Hmm.
Just says as an action, choose one creature you can see within 60 feet of you.
Oh, is it an action?
Is this from
That's pretty cool.
Xanthors.
It's from the Xanathars. It's
Yeah.
the Monster Hunter you said.
Mm-hmm.
What's it called?
Hunter Sense.
Makes sense.
Hunter's
Third level, you
Sense.
gain the ability
Yeah,
to
you
peer
can
into
tell
creature
it's immune to natural weapons.
Special edition.
magically discern how best to hurt it. It's immune.
It's immune to
Non-magical.
non-magical weapons. It's
Okay.
resistant. More than likely, it's going to be resistant to fire because of the moist, gooey nature of it.
Is it hidden from divination magic?
No.
It's not.
Yeah,
Okay.
if
Then,
the creature
then this
hits
works
him-
fine.
Yeah.
You sense that it has no damage, immune resistance. Okay.
It does seem to have some regenerative properties because you can see places where tentacles have been broken back and grown back because you can see where they've been, like cut.
But they're-
Immunities,
little
resistances, or
narrower.
vulnerabilities. That's pretty much it. Okay, yeah. And he gets to use it a number of times equal to his wisdom modifier. Sorry, I was thinking of a different skill
Yeah.
that you could only do by spending a full minute.
So I only have one left.
Yeah, that's one where you get advantage after that on
No, it's you basically choose 2 out of like 6 things, and you pretty much guaranteed to have them, as if you got a nat 20 on it.
Gotcha.
She carries magic missile.
Like
magic
you know what
armor
its
on herself.
vulnerabilities and its current hit.
Okay, so she's armoring up by magic.
I'm really like just trying to
I
like.
already have armor. She throws.
As it's
throws
crawling
shield.
across
Oh my-
the floor, it undulates over a pile of crates, and its weight is enough to pull the lids off of the crates. From here, you can see a glint of gravelings in one of the cases. In another, their light reflects of a golden nature. And in the third crate, you can smell cinnamon.
Wouldn't the gravelings being
Damn
in
it,
such
Clem!
close proximity cause them to light, like, because they produce heat and light? Wouldn't it just erupt with light in that room at this point?
When you
Yes,
push them together.
When you push them together.
The problem
In
is
this
we need
case,
to
they're-
do that cascade.
In this case, they are layered across cloth.
Okay, got it.
So there's a little bit of a glow from them because they are close enough to give off some ambient light, but you have to push them together to get the.
You pointed out.
What? The light?
All of
You're,
it.
well, you can see it.
Oh, I can see it. Okay, I thought he was saying that was something he noticed.
No, when he turned around to talk to Bob,
Mhm.
Bob says, "Please, I prefer you don't use my diminutive. When you're in such groups, you should use my full name."
Blubber?
Bob Shibnigaroth.
Oh shit.
Spell it.
Okay.
You call
I
it
don't know which
Elmer
session
Horror?
learned that name. I know one of the sessions I'm in learned that name. I
Okay.
can't remember if it's this one or not, though.
Shit.
Well, hopefully he's not that one.
That one?
Yeah, the actual.
So we have somebody here who knows some Cthulhu lore. Oh God, this is the one that eats
Yeah.
brains. This is the one that eats brains. Run!
Bob Shegnigaroth.
It's a cookbook.
Yep.
It's
Say
a
it again.
cookbook.
Spell it.
It's one of the fun parts about Cthulhu.
You can't.
BOBSHAB
DOBSHABNIGG.
Bob Sugar.
No, yeah, this is completely different. It's not.
No, I know.
No,
It's
the other
his
one.
cousin.
I got
No,
He's easy.
the other one's in the other room. His name's Phil Shibnigarov.
Okay, that's Shaw. Bob Shaw. I got Shaw.
Shab Nigarov.
It's the.
Who hired
John-
that worker? I did, sir. He's my cousin.
NIGURATH.
Bob Sh-
Nigura.
Yeah.
NIGUR
ATH.
ATA.
ATH.
John, you just need to start making printouts of the names.
I just spell it how I was going to pronounce it.
That's right too.
That's what I say. Just
Yeah, just
whatever helps you pronounce it better for you, just write that down.
yeah. The trick is especially if you post into Nycos D&D Warriors or whatever, people will get what you're talking about anyway, and if they've got more knowledge, they'll include the spelling if they found it.
That's Kern with 5 X's.
Nice.
So, I see the gold, smell the cinnamon, and where'd you get in common now? Just only because I'm like still bleeding now.
I
Where
see
did
the
you
gold.
get the
Smell the cinnamon. That's a euphemism
The
if I've ever heard one.
Gravelings? Bob Shignigaroff.
Trade happens when people see something of value that they are willing to part with.
What did you trade for the Gravelings? Because we know you're not the one that stole them.
It is not for me, it is for they. And I only show you because I want to be your friend. For I know what awaits you. Of course, they're all going, what?
Is this all in common?
Yes.
Okay.
Common now.
Better not be another one.
Where the words of
my eyes go straight for Monster Hunter like.
wait a
I'm
minute. Where the
pulling out
words
the
of
sword.
evil?
Huh?
I speak with forked tongue.
I mean,
Open your mouth, we want to look.
um,
Okay. Rand, what's your next action? You shot him and didn't do anything.
And I did that primary awareness, or not
Yeah.
primary awareness. I meant
It
the
lasts for a
hunt,
minute.
the hunter sense.
Yeah.
So I know magic, so I'm gonna pull out the cutlass.
Oh, when you pull that out,
Oh no!
he laughs even more.
Blah, 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 blah.
I'm just gonna head on
It's
it.
Yeah,
demoralizing.
it's like, but this is the best I got. You see him pull out the cursed, the clearly dark weapon.
And the other evil in the room
Evil
laughs.
against evil?
It's the only way to go.
I'm
about to.
Yeah, you see.
I'm about to throw it.
I stand in the middle
Well, it's
of him
not a
and I tell
throwing
him to
weapon.
calm down. We've
just
not.
A cutlass,
You
a
really
cutlass,
want to let go of that thing and give it to him?
a cutlass can be thrown.
I stand in the middle and I tell the hunter and I tell the now fully armored angel in the room, like, hey, he's not done anything to attack us. We've only been having a conversation. We came as fact finding.
You are speaking more like my friend every moment.
Which friend?
That's what he says.
Oh, that's what he says.
You're speaking like my
Oh,
friend.
I thought for a second you
Morg.
were saying another player.
And this is just in the back of my head, him having some, just from on a meta sense, he knows something about me that I don't know. So
Well, yes. The child touched by Yarlum.
yeah, I'm trying to get. I don't know what's going on, but like, if you guys try to kill him, I lose answers. But I don't want to tell you guys that, so no. So that's just why I'm
It's
doing.
not persuading me.
Why do you
anyway.
trust his words?
He wouldn't. He was like, what? Wait, you
he
want to
like-
know stuff about you? Heck with that.
No, but that's like that's just the meta. What I was. But I'm saying like, hey, we came as for fact
Yeah, I know,
finding.
I know.
We can't. We came for fact finding. We can't. If we're every time we go on an exploratory mission, we shoot the first thing we see. We're just gonna leave a trail of bodies. Y'all need to calm down.
John, I have a silly question.
Yes.
I know it was in the inventory that I had the list made out of.
Yeah.
A glass jar.
Yes.
Would he fit?
No.
Alright. I only ask because octopuses can really squeeze into those dang things.
Yes.
But he's not truly an octopus.
We don't know what he truly is.
Do you really want to know?
No.
Do you
But
really?
I also know that as far as I'm
All I know
concerned,
is
he's
it'd
an
be silly as hell
abomination.
to have a great evil trapped inside of a freaking pickle jar.
Shoot.
Not everything is black and white.
So you pull out the cutlass and he laughs.
Yeah.
And he says, "Hunter of beast, hunter of monsters. Do you wish to actually see that which you should hunt? Or do you prefer to only kill that which you don't understand?"
Ah.
Shut up, you!
Kurt just lets out an audible. Ah.
What should we hunt
Yeah, I'll just.
besides creatures such as you?
What should we hunt besides creatures I don't understand?
He says, what did I call you a minute ago? Oh,
Touched by the
Sunborn is what he said.
sunborn.
He says, daughter of the flames, your answers lie beneath the gravelings. Monster Hunter, if you wish, you could use that weapon to attempt to kill me. You would be better served to kill his parents.
Parents.
Joke's on you. I don't have a dad.
I hear him say underneath the gravelings, and I run for the crate of gravelings just to see what's under it.
Okay.
Very
Which
most-
corner?
I'm
Wait.
gonna go get your
You're
fate.
going, way!
You don't wait for anything, Mister Shoot Everything.
And important lesson.
And important lesson: make your deck save. Because guess where you have to run past to do that?
The bar.
The weak spot in the bar. Yep. Yep. The floor breaks through and he vanishes.
Funk.
Roll a second deck save to miss the anchors.
Good, Nat one.
No, he went right on the anchors. Ow.
How many dice do you need? All of them?
So that chattering was that guy, right?
You don't even care that I just fell through the floor.
Tags
That was him after all, wasn't it?
No,
I'm gonna go get it. But
I don't.
clarify.
I'll put the sword away.
I don't think it's these gravelings. I think it's the
10,
gravelings
16,
in the
My enemy.
24. 24 points.
Oh, I have 23 hit points.
Any
Well,
of
I
my
think
friends-
what we're looking
You're-
for
so
is the
you're
one who just
in
fell
death
through the
save.
floor.
I'm going out there.
So
Yes.
so as you step forward,
She
take a few
wants-
steps forward to look down into the hole to see where he is. He is impaled on the anchors down below, several of them sticking through him. He appears to be lifeless. Don't start rolling it. This way.
Do not roll yet.
Oh.
She's going down.
You got to go back out and down the stairs.
She runs down.
Oh. I was gonna say I have rope. No, never mind.
So, what do you do?
Oh.
She's heading out to go downstairs.
I tell alligators. Or crocodiles, whichever.
Crocodiles.
Crocodiles.
Gators. Gator
Gators.
dials.
See you later, alligator. For a while, crocodile.
Gator duns. Gator dales.
That's why you should have told me about the trapdoor, man.
It wasn't a trapdoor. It was just a
Wasn't
loose
trapdoor, so it was
floorboard.
floorboard. What are you doing? With the Bob slowly still slithering past the crates.
He's slithering past the crates.
Yeah,
But
he
towards where?
used his weight to open them all as he went by, but he's moving
So we see
towards the
grave-
back.
We can see the graveling.
You can see the glow of the gravelings on the upper level of that crate.
Based on everyone else's intentions, is Kern wrong in assuming we don't want him to necessarily get away unscathed? Monster Hunter guy who was on.
He's saying,
anchors?
"You want me to hurt it?"
Do you want me to at least try and leave a physical damage at him?
No, not really. It's just try to get him out.
So just let him get away.
Yeah, I would say that. I mean,
He hates to say it.
Yeah.
Damn it!
Well, I'm just
Right,
asking because
he-
I could potentially do some damage.
So you choose.
That's the implication of why I'm asking.
Yeah, he's asking. You want me to hurt it?
Do you want him to at least be hurt if he's going to get away, or do you want me to just leave him alone and
Try to save
help
her.
the
Helpless.
well, if I was a paladin, I'd say help the dumb or evil.
Yeah, we'll let him go
Yeah,
away.
man.
Or slither on and just concentrate on getting him out.
Alright, so I'm going to carefully step over and look down the hole and see what she saw.
Mm-hmm.
I do not have a means of helping him off an anchor right now, so I'm trying to think.
Well, you are a rogue. You could actually climb.
Yeah, I could, but the hard
Rope.
part would be getting him off the anchor and then everything else.
Rope.
The hard part would be getting him off the anchor and everything else.
Yeah, but
So-
her doing it by herself won't be able to do it either. So,
True.
and you could be there first. You could actually administer first contact aid, so to speak. Do you have use of medicine?
I do not have medicine or healer's kit. I gave that to her.
Okay. You don't have a kit on you, do you?
No.
No.
I only gave a kit to her because
That's right.
she.
Is there anything?
Wanted an extra
there's
way.
nothing in the
No, it'd be a separate thing called the healer's kit.
It's an actual
No.
healer's kit. Well, are the anchors hanging or are they?
They're welded together.
They're welded together.
They're intentionally made as a trap device.
Yes, but I just make sure they're not hanging
No.
by themselves. They're on the bottom.
Yep.
Or welded into the scaffolding.
You're right.
Okay. Yeah, that was the only question I had.
If not,
I'd like to take a turn to study the area to make sure there's no additional traps for those who climb down.
Okay. I make a perception check.
All right.
If you succeeded it, go ahead and roll an investigation.
22.
Okay, so go ahead and make an investigation check as well.
That one's going to be an 11.
Okay, so excuse me. So the check indicates that the space that the hideous thing is crawling over looks to have don't know the language, but letters written in a circular pattern, and it's actually pulling itself within the parameters of that space on the ground on the other side of where he fell in.
Mm-hmm.
And as it does so, it's also there beyond it. You can actually make the silhouette of what looks to be a downed human form beyond in
Just
the
behind
darkness,
him.
right just behind it, nearest the back door of the facility itself, the actual little structure. And the body looks like it's like half hanging out of that doorway.
Well, I did say I spend the action to do that. Bonus action, move the dance lights over just so easy, clearly seeable.
Sure, and because the lights are already outside, the two that are outside can sweep around there,
Mm-hmm.
and you'll see a what looks to be the form of skeletal remains in chainmail armor, looking like it was trying to escape from this room.
And that was the thing that was
That's
just
the
beyond
thing.
him.
Yeah.
The thing I thought was still alive, just knocked out and injured, is actually skeleton
Right.
adventurer.
Right. And as you watched it, as he enters that space and gets himself actually squeezed within the diameters of the circle,
Mm-hmm.
he'll dissolve in a very...
Jelly-like.
I'd say
way,
no.
I'm
It's
assuming.
actually surprisingly fractal. He actually looks like he splinters into multiple dimensions of crystalline materials. So go ahead and make a wisdom save against that.
Is it against frightened or?
Actually, it's a possible form of insanity will result.
Okay, so it's versus it's
It's actually
yeah.
pure sanity check.
The only reason I keep asking is just because elves get the Fey ancestry, which gives them
Right.
checks against certain wisdoms.
Right.
Okay, that's a wisdom.
No, you made it.
save. Oh, okay.
You made it. It rips at the tendrils of your life to realize that there are creatures that are made of something other than
Flesh and bone.
organism. Right. So, but just watching it dissolve is kind of creepy. All right, now you make your first death save,
That one.
and that counts as 2 fails.
So one more fail and you're gone.
You're making it down. Better make a deck save to accelerate because he's.
We just saw him cough up half a wall.
I just rolled 2 nat ones in a row, so maybe not use that dice.
No.
I rolled a 20.
Okay. She
Plus-
basically leaps down without breaking a bone, lands on that the lower rigging,
The setup.
You call it rigging, but it's not really. It's the understructure. You do see alligator. You see crocodiles swimming around down below you, but you're able to keep yourself out of the water, and you're making it across to get to him. You'll
Yeah.
get there in one more turn. You need to make at least one of these saves for her to get there. So,
Do you have a VP?
what are you wanting to do?
Holy water.
We're gonna
Little
try to splash it before it
yeah,
vanishes.
well, I'm gonna throw the whole flask
well,
at it.
At what? Oh, at the monster?
Yeah. See,
As it's
any
dimensionally.
effect.
No, I love. Hey, you want me to do something that could possibly hurt it?
No, I'll
I
take
want
care
to
of it.
do it.
roll the hit.
What is that? Is that a forgot dexterity?
So I'm
It's
gonna
a
see you do
grenade
that. And I'm
attack,
gonna
so
turn and
you're-
I'm just gonna go.
You're rolling a d20, and anything from a 13 and above will affect it in some fashion. The higher the number, the more it affects it.
So, D20.
So don't get an at one.
2.
He splashes water everywhere but on the creature. He's like freaking out. Get it! Holy water! And I'm gonna splash. Good. Wave it at him.
Blup,
Yeah.
blup.
Well, friend is dying, so.
Kurt is just glaring at you.
Yeah. So you're glaring at him, and you
My
make your
job.
next save. Here we go.
Oh,
Well, I just saw it. I had it.
19.
I'm like, crap.
one save.
19. You make the save. You get there. He's still on the spikes though.
I know, but I am going to give him a heal anyway to get him to a stabilized condition with more. hit
Before
points.
you tear his limb out of the anchor. All right, go ahead.
Yeah.
So go ahead and roll the damage. You go ahead and roll the heal damage.
Okay.
So, cure wounds. It's D8
Yeah. Carol.
plus your wisdom
Okay,
modifier.
let me practice how I'm gonna come to.
She's
with the
gonna
spike
do
through
it
my
at the
chest real
second.
quick.
Through your shoulder.
I
Through
can't
my
do it
shoulder.
at the second level.
Yes, you can.
Yes, I can do one. at
You
the
have second level
level.
spell slots. You just don't have second level spells. So 5
That's 5
plus
and she has
plus one more D8, then plus your plus
plus
6.
6.
11 plus your wisdom or charisma, because did you take that through your
It's
sorcery?
my wisdom. Oh no, it's my charisma, and that is 5. 4.
So
4
16.
at this time.
Yep.
So that
15?
would be 15 points back.
15 points back. Now you wake up with the anchor through your shoulder.
Holy
crap!
What
Hey,
just
quiet.
Clavicle.
Don't
And you hear
struggle.
you hear the swirl. No, the thing is that his blood in the water. So there's crocs all over down below you. The whole surface down below
Yeah.
you is frothing with.
If you guys can throw down a rope,
I have the rope tied with the dagger, and I just throw it with my other hand into the roof of the building through the trapdoor.
You're going to move around while an anchor is basically
No,
shoved
the
through
other-
your
So
collarbone.
it's right here, and I'm just gonna grab that one and just do like a throw, and just so it's a
Okay.
dangling rope.
So it'll be a disadvantage because
Okay.
you're trying to throw through a hole.
Is it but it was big enough for a human to go through? Or?
All I had to do is do 2 or 3 pieces of wood that broke underneath your feet.
Oh god, I thought it was like.
Fine.
No, you got tore up. You got tore up on the way down too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying is you
Go ahead, roll a
you are
disadvantage.
unsure. Your footing is not sure because you're literally hanging
That's a pretty good roll, but now you got to roll it the second time.
and take the lowest.
Yeah. So it sticks in the log about
Two.
3 feet above you.
You look down to see the crocodiles.
Okay.
And there's
she will
actually
try to find a way to start working him up off that by putting things.
1, 2, 3. Roll d6.
6.
Okay, you have 3 hit points left as she rips the flesh out of you to get that stupid anchor out. So it tears you up again, but you're down to you're at least 3 hit points left when she pulls you off of it.
So I'm
I'm
just
thinking we can't really put him back together if he's in pieces.
No, but I can hit him again with another cure.
Wasn't that what was said first? Do they come in pieces? Apparently they do.
This is my arm is just chilling.
Well, if one of the crocodiles gets a hold of you, you'll be in pieces.
That's
Mhm.
awesome.
So he's got a giant gaping hole in his shoulder
Yes. Yes, I hate to do this to you, but it's 4:45, so we need to come to conclusion here in a bit. So
I'll just hit him again with another
heal.
heal.
Okay.
Is Squid Boy still here?
Squid Boy
Squidly's
vanished.
gone.
Yeah. Squidward is gone.
Squidly's gone.
Yes. All right.
I'm gonna go check out and see
That's
what
a
that
five.
gold was.
Okay. Yeah, it's,
Plus
it's
4 is
another
9
case of arrows.
points.
9 points. So
And then what's
9
the?
points.
what's
I only
the
could give
cinnamon?
him one because they only had one level 2.
Well, the cinnamon, it looks like a box of crushed cinnamon, not powdered, but crushed cinnamon.
Oh.
They're like little
Like
tiny.
crushed bark.
Yeah,
I'm at a 12.
but it's just full of that.
I'm at 12 right now.
They're 12 hit points. Okay. So the two of you can eventually work your way back up into the
Carefully.
room. Yep.
I'm gonna sift through just see if anything.
And while you're down there, you can see the other loose spot at the other end, so you won't make the same mistake.
Same mistake.
The other end.
Told you.
No,
Actually,
you
I
didn't. Actually, you
No,
did.
I didn't.
He didn't tell no one nothing.
Well, you did use that weird language, so
Kind
I was too frightened to tell you.
I like the way you said it. Don't tell me you too. I am actually surrounded by monsters.
And just real quick.
The only one who isn't is Withany over
Does
there.
he get any like fiend check?
I'm
on
the
me?
only one who all the demons also don't want to make deals with half the time.
Has something awakened in me that he senses fiend or dark anything when he does it now? Have you
No.
ever- No. Okay, so I'm still
No, but you have that weird scar on your chin.
Scar on my chin.
And in your shoulder.
So we
Well,
got.
wait a moment. The scar didn't heal when I
The
did
scar
it?
did not heal in his jaw.
Healing spells don't get rid of scars. Greater restoration does.
Great. You're a
It
bug.
doesn't get rid of the scar. does it?
Correct.
Because it's splitting here. and
Healing
you can go
spells are
mandible.
basically just accelerated healing,
I don't know.
so they don't get rid of scars. You need a
I
spell
go-
called Greater
I
Restoration to get rid
Gently
of
now,
scars.
go look under those.
Well, what I'm saying though is when she healed his shoulder, it did heal.
Okay.
Because there was no scarring to be done because it was healed by magic. But his chin does not.
Okay.
So he's
Yeah,
got
that's what
this
I
little-
understood about healing magic. You
Yeah.
get your own.
If you've seen
Well,
Blade,
it's because in 5th
Blade
edition
2.
healing magic, there's different types.
Yeah,
So-
that's where that's
so
where it
lower
popped in
heal-
my head.
yeah,
She didn't even like that, but I accepted it later. The movie.
yeah. The
It
movie,
wasn't my favorite movie. Like the first one was good, but then when
well,
this
if they
whole
hadn't
feature-
gone buggy on him,
yeah, that's the thing. But
the whole vampires hunting vampires was kind of cool.
and then there's a series, The Strain.
The Strain, I like that, and I also like Daylighters with Christian Bale.
So yeah, my last question was just sifting through the cinnamon
Sure.
box. Was there anything hidden?
Oh,
inside?
sifting through it, yes. Hidden underneath the cinnamon, you find
More cinnamon.
you find weird, kind of gooey prosthetics that a person could wear to look kind of like a sea demon, like a saprison.
A costume.
A costume. Actually, pieces of costumes. Maybe enough for
You know,
4 or 5
cinnamon-
guys.
It's probably a nice spice. Might be worth
I'm
something.
making you keep looking. I'm like, what do
You
you keep
said
looking
there's
at my face? What do
gravelings
I-
here in a box.
There's gravelings, golden arrowheads, and a box of cinnamon that once I dug through has
Silver in your
Scooby Doo villain costumes in it.
You're just throwing
Any
random.
reaction?
You're just throwing random monster items in my face when I'm
Silver.
not
I see,
making
you take when he's not looking, you take coins and you're pressing it against his
What are you
skin.
doing?
Nope, silver doesn't do anything. Holy symbol, no.
You're
throwing
just
holy water
you're
at me.
burning some sage right under his nose.
Hey, you want some water?
There's
No, it's just holy water. Drink the holy
what the
water.
heck, man?
That's when his drinking problem started.
Every time we had it,
That's
look for-
funny.
3
Alrighty,
pieces.
so we will continue next time at this point. 300 experience points, however, because
Yay! So if you're level 1, you're now level 2.
and if you're level 2, you're close to level 3.
So I went to level 3 3 weeks ago.
Then you're still level 3.
So how does it go? Like so every week.
So 300, 900, 2700, 6500.
Okay, yeah, I was.
That's the
checking.
experience points. If I'm using experience points, since we're not yet to a benchmark, I'm using experience points to ratchet it up. Normally, you'll all benchmark at the same time ish, but
You still keep track of the experience points because sometimes you might miss a session or something.
Right.
And the next session you get
Right.
just enough experience points for the level.
all right. So thank you guys for playing. Thank you guys for watching. I'm going to take off, but we will definitely see you next time. Also, good news. I'm off of METs, which means that Friday sessions are back on starting this coming Friday. So,
Yay for Friday!
yes.
Hooray for me!
Yay. Get another session. Alrighty. So you guys have a great time. Everybody wave.